Alrighty then. How is everyone doing? We are here. We are here. We are back streaming for our regular Monday branded stream here over at the MetaGamesGX channel. Appreciate everybody hanging tight while I was getting ready. What's up, Yuri Diaz in the chat? We got 16 viewers. What's up? What's up, guys? Ronaldo Saez, what's up, bro? Josh Morris, upside down smiley face, my bad. Damian McNuff, I stand by opinions. Vados can be good, good side pick. What do you mean, Vados? Vados, you might have to elaborate on that one. What's up, guys? If you guys just want to put down some questions down below, I will answer them as we are just getting our stream together before we do this awesome deck profile that we are going to be doing. Yeah, we can just go back to some Mega Man. Would you ever run a build around Keeper? Asked Reynaldo. Yes, I would. I was considering that actually towards the end of Cash format. I thought that was actually quite a good pick, like with the Prep Plant stuff. I think maybe when Brand Fusion comes to one, I will consider it more. As of right now, I'd prefer the Fright Fur package. I don't think it's a bad card, though. It does a lot. It's a very overtuned card, Keeper. Hope everyone's having a good day. We got a post-fam Nightmare deck profile for y'all today, since y'all left 100 likes on the last video yesterday. So that means you guys get the fam Nightmare deck profile before the format starts, so you guys can get a little bit of a head start at least. So if you guys have some questions before we get into the deck profile, that's what we're going to be doing today. And then also we are probably going to be doing some ranked games, of course. Try out this build. Reynaldo Saez, for real. Yuri Diaz, facts. I'm tipsy, so the beat is a vibe. Hell yeah. What's good, Pimp? How's it going, Barzy? Mr. Mars in the chat. How are you doing today? He asks. I'm doing quite well. We had to just take a couple day break from YouTube, guys, and now we're back. It's a new week. We're refreshed. We got a bunch of great content coming out. I'm feeling great. Went to the gym today, getting my car back tomorrow, so we should be getting some locals live streams possibly tomorrow, if not Wednesday for sure. Luis Vasquez says, recently just built branded. Thanks for going over deck profile and side deck. Definitely need to revamp my deck, trying to play it on a budget. Yeah, when you're playing, no problem, bro. When you play it on a budget, you know, definitely you have other options to consider, but like branded is so malleable. Like if you don't have the Quem, you run the ad lib, and then you just have to play it a little bit differently, but it's totally fine. You're still, at the end of the day, when you resolve branded fusion, it still reads win the game essentially, so. Whether you have these expensive cards or not. So, Damian McNuff Vitos, the new Ashen Boss Monster, Hand Trap, Quick Effect, Destroys Field spell. So your original thought was, I stand by my opinion that Vados can be a good side deck pick. Yeah, no, that was one of my, that was actually the first thing I thought when I read those cards, Vados. I was like, oh, if there's ever a deck with like a field spell that you would like to pop, I think that card would be pretty good as a side deck card. I think that might be like the extent of its meta use, unless the support after that will be good. Look at those QCR Nibiru's, folks. Oh, we love those QCRs. Yeah, but Ashen was a little bit disappointing, but it's definitely very cool. Cool mechanics. It's just a little bit worse of a Fire King, unfortunately. Chase been playing branded on DB and cooking up to 900 rating, says Chase. Yo, good for you, bro. Take it home. Let's get top rating with branded, brother. That's awesome to hear. What build are you running? Are you on Puppet? Are you non-Puppet? Are you on more of a, like, a little bit spicier pick or more standard? What non-engine? Like, would love to hear. And then Liam, what's up, Liam? How's it going, brother? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming through to the stream. We got 20 viewers right now, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. Let's just get the stream up to 10 likes, and then we will begin the deck profile. Been tinkering. Oh, what's up, Jake the Mountain Man? Been tinkering with the cash brand stuff Lofton was bringing up. Kind of nutty. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's pretty good. I need to test it more, but I think it's pretty good, frankly. Chris James and you collaboration when Yuri Diaz one day. And then of course, guys, if you haven't been in the Discord the last few days, we've been having some very high level branded talks. So definitely, if you don't want to miss out on that, join the brand Discord our Discord down below. I'm gonna have more links. If you just go down below, you can find all of my links if you want to support the channel, of course. Remember, guys, we are going to get into this deck profile once we hit 10 likes on that stream. We are going to be going over post Phantom Nightmare branded Despia. You know, we're going to really get into what our game plan is for this meta. I mean, I did make a video the other day on how good branded Despia is for Phantom Nightmare, so I very much recommend watching that if you would like a pretty concise explanation why I still think that brand Despia is one of the best picks this format, frankly. Coming up with the of course Phantom Nightmare with the Populace and everything. You know, those cards really do a lot for those decks, for the fire decks. It's gonna change a lot. Like, Fire King is no longer a buy for our deck, unfortunately. We are going to have to, you know, now do some things with our main deck to combat the Fire King matchup, you know. And on top of, you know, Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is just an issue. Like, Populace is an issue. Like, if you let a Populace resolve, which you typically don't run hand traps in branded, it can be a bad day. So you need to make sure that your board breakers, your side deck, and your non-engine is pretty on point, and you're really building into the meta, so you're not playing into the hand traps that are going to be going around. Cough, cough, droll. That's why this build is going to be a lot different than what I've been doing the last month or two, if you guys have been following my deck profiles. So, good video today. Thank you very much, Liam. Appreciate it. Ronaldo Saez Jr. says, honestly, if you want to start playing brand, the simple allure right for Super Poly is the best way to go. Completely agree. For the sure, the best budget version. Yeah, no, like, very, very cheap. Branded Ashen deck, very interesting. We'll have to get that going. I have a lot of different branded variants. We got Discord conversations the last few days have really got me thinking on how branded can be really splashed into a lot of different decks, including Kashtira. So stay for Friday. I mailed for some foreign goodies that you can give away. Tune in. Yuri Diaz says, oh, guys. Friday, I guess we're going to have some giveaways from Yuri Diaz. Yo, another deck profile. No Vanity says, I love the consistent updates. Hell yeah, brother. We got 100 likes the other day on the videos. You guys really do smash those like goals when I set them. So I appreciate that. Y'all are the best. So we are, you know, you guys delivered. So I'm making good on that promise. And we're going to do a post-Fam Nightmare brand Despia deck profile because I figured you guys might want a little, like, heads up on where you guys should be going. I'm going to be going through, like, what I would be running if I were to go to a regional tomorrow post-Fam Nightmare. And we will talk about how the meta can develop and then, like, how things could change. Because, like, there are things that we can do to our deck to further curve the matchup of Snake Eyes in our favor. However, I don't necessarily think we need to do that until we get event results, because of course the OCG it's a different place, although it's very likely that Snake Eye is going to take north of 30% of top cut in these events coming up after Phantom Nightmare. Any deck with Snake Eyes, I'd say, will be taking about 30% of or more of top cut, and if it becomes like around there, that's when we can start really gauging and putting, like, stuff in our main deck to deal with this. But for now, I'm right now crafting my main deck to play as well as I can, because I still think it's not going to be a tier 0 format, guys. It's going to be a pretty wide open format. So that is the thing. Yuri Diaz, 25 viewers. Let's go. Like it up. Don't want to miss the giveaway Chris is doing. Mailed some gas. B Masa. Hi, you show the profile? Yeah, we're going to get right into the profile now. Jake Malman, Unicorn attacking the extra deck is crazy satisfying. Yeah, no, Unicorn is just a crazy card that you don't. And when I was looking at the end boards of, like, Kashtira Despia, I was like, wow, it's just standard Despia plus a Kashtira board. I'm like, maybe we should be doing this. So it's gonna be something to test. Card limits with Fam Nightmare. What's up, brother? Always love to see you out here, guys. All the regulars we got out here. The Yuri, Liam, Jake the Mountain Man, of course. Bars out here. No Vanity. Love to see the regulars and love to see all the new people. Really do. Beamasa, what's up, bro? Ismail Khan, how about siding Shadal Fusion with Ariel against Fire Kings? We are going to talk about that. I had that I mentioned that in my video, actually, on why Branded is good in the next format, because we can play El Shadal Ariel plus Fusion. That is what I was basically getting into. We will get Nel Shadal Ariel plus Shadal Fusion is quite a good option to Fire King. We will get into why we aren't running that in our main deck right now. So while we get into it, please leave a like below and make sure to subscribe. Also, check out the links below to support the channel, the TCG player affiliate link, and if you want to donate as well, there's the Streamlabs link, or you could donate through YouTube, or you could sign up for a channel membership. We got those going if you want to get all my deck lists. Before I release them, I'm going to have a secret channel on there. You get some early videos too, get some fun emojis, and you just get to support the channel in a great way. So 36 people watching right now. Let's get into this deck profile, y'all. So we're gonna do a short intro, but definitely make sure to chat if you want to be on YouTube, guys, because this will be re-uploaded as a VOD. So we're gonna do YouTube intro now. What's up, guys? This is MetaGamesGX here, and this is going to be my updated Phantom Nightmare brand Despia deck profile. So we hit 100 likes on the last video, and I set the goal to get this deck profile out here a little bit right before Phantom Nightmare, because I know that you guys might want a few pointers and just direction on what to do with Branded in this upcoming format, because Populace and Promethean Princess are quite scary cards, but I think that Brandon has a lot of options. So we're going to talk about a lot of those options and then go over the deck I would bring into a regional tomorrow. So with that being said, let's get right into it. We got a 45 card main deck, guys. We are actually not running a huge pile today. I will get to chat comments while we are going through the deck profile, or after the deck profile. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, we are going to begin off, of course, with 3 Fallen of Albaz, 3 Aluber. These are super standard, nothing really to say here. And then 2 Cartesia and 1 Quem actually this time around. So I'm predicting that this format coming up is going to be a little less grindy. So I'm not seeing necessarily the point of running 2 Quem at the moment. 2 Quem felt really good pre-Phantom Nightmare format because of the fact that games got extremely grindy. Whether it was because everyone was on 100 hand traps, or just because a lot of the decks were in the same kind of, just because the ban list put the game in actually a pretty decent spot. So I felt like the double Quem was good for those games that went to turn 3 or 4, where you really do need to make Branded opening into a live card on your opponent's turn. However, I think the 1 will just cut it right now in order to get a more consistent build. That's what we're trying to do with this. We are at 45 cards. I could have actually made it 40 cards. However, I wanted everybody to be able to see the non-engine that really matter this format, because there are 2 non-engine that are going to win a lot of your games in Branded Despia currently. I am maining them. We are going to get into them. This is why we're not running the Nel Shadal Ariel, because I think at a 45 card build, we are going to be able to blitz through our deck and see these non-engines quite consistently. And we run the Thrust as well, so we're going to get into all of that. Quem, Cartesia, very good. I experimented with more. I don't want to run more Quem without running more Albion the Shrouded Dragon, which we will get into. 1 Tri-Brigade Mercurier, 1 Tragedy, very standard. We are off of the Allure of Darkness package, which is something that you guys will be definitely used to if you have been following my deck profiles recently. We have been on Allure of Darkness. We've been able to run that card with impunity in the format because no one has been main decking Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird destroys the Allure of Darkness. It makes Allure of Darkness pretty bad to run, and that's why I think we weren't able to run it after Super Heavy really put Droll into a lot of people's main decks. And then, like, this last format, people really just took out the Droll because of Enchained and Pearly. So I thought we were able to get away with Allure of Darkness very easily the last 2 formats. So I don't see any need to go up to 2. You could also run a second Mercurier, but I don't run, actually, a Gold Sark. Because I think it plays into Droll and Lockbird, which is what we're going to get into right here with the Albion the Shrouded Dragon. So, why are we only on 1 Albion the Shrouded Dragon and versus 3? Also, what's up, Yuri Diaz? Thanks for becoming a Despian. You are the first channel member, brother. Appreciate you, brother. I'm going to have to put on the Stream Elements thing, but really do appreciate it. We got the first Despian in the chat. Yuri Diaz, my branded brother in crime. Very much appreciate it. We got 40 viewers right now in this deck profile. What's up, y'all? Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. We're going to be finishing this deck profile once I take a sip of this pop. Alrighty. So, why only one Albion the Shrouded Dragon? I think because we don't want... Oh, what's up, Andre Torres? Latest subscriber? What's up, brother? Go in the chat. I think it says the latest subscriber was Andre Torres. What's up, bro? Huge inspiration behind my branded decks, I think, as you already know if you're in the chat. So, Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Why do we only run 1? It's because we don't want to play into Droll. I think it was an extremely amazing consistency piece that we've been able to run at 3 the last 2 formats, on top of Allure of Darkness. Like, running 3 Allure, 3 Albion, and 2 Quem was just, like, such an insane consistency. On top of, like, a Branded and a High Spirits, you basically never got to brick with those ratios. However, this format, you are going to see Droll and Lockbird. I don't see how this does not happen. Droll and Lockbird is essentially our max C at this time. Like, Chris often said that in my Discord the other night, which is very true. Droll is currently the modern max C, and because of that, with things like Populous, which literally says, win the game if you search this card, you need to run things like Droll and Lockbird, and a lot of people are going to be running Droll and Lockbird as well. So, putting this to 1 is just fine. I think we've always usually, like, historically ran this at 1. I don't think we need to run this at 3 unless we're on the 3 Allure plus like 2 Quem, and with the prevalence of Drolls, that's why we're not on that. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not showing up latest member as Yuri Diaz, but that's all right. And then we gotta take a sip of water, folks. Alrighty. So, we got Saranir and Lubellion. These guys are... You need to run them, obviously. Saranir is a card I feel like I need to, like, actually make a video on legitimately on its own, because it's such a good tool to be able to get to Branded Fusion that not a lot of people usually see those lines. Like, this card gets you to Branded Fusion most of the time. And then, of course, Lubellion's just an amazing tool going first or second to go full combo and get the Branded loss. So, Luis Vasquez, how do I join Despia? You just become a channel member and you become a Despian. You get a bunch of channel perks, including access to my the hidden channel on my Discord, where you get to just ask me questions, and then you have a direct line to me. I'm also going to be posting all my deck lists early there. I'm also going to have early videos posted, so if you want to become a Despian, make sure to become a channel member, join for $5 a month, and you get some nice emojis in the chat, and you get a new, like, channel sticker. You, like, get to upgrade from a Despian Tragedy all the way to a Mirror Jade by the end of it. So really do appreciate y'all's are the goats. We got 47 people watching right now. So yeah, Lubellion, Saranir. We don't really need to go too much more into that. I remember, like, I saw people back in the day say you don't need to run them. They're just insane, because Branded Lost is how you win a lot of these matchups. Of course, Fire King can get rid of Branded Lost very easily. I just don't think you should cut these because of that, because you can still banish the Diabell Star, and Branded Lost is still a great card. So, our last engine, we are back on Nadir Servant, folks. So, I think Nadir Servant is actually going to kind of go hard this format. Whereas last format, I ended up cutting it towards the end because it just didn't feel that good. There were... I don't know what it was. There was a lot of times where Nadir Servant just did not feel great last format for various reasons. I think it was because it was a lot more of a diverse format, and a lot of people are the send off of Maximus, sometimes you just be giving people pluses and stuff like that. I think in this current format where you're going to be seeing just fire decks, not a lot of them end up running the Super Poly package at all, so you aren't going to be giving them pluses off of Maximus. Maybe with Voiceless Voices that could become an issue because I've seen that deck run Super Poly. However, I think that with the plethora of hand traps still going around, I think Nadir Servant's going to do just a fine job, frankly. So that's why we run the Maximus, but we'll talk about that more when we get into Nadir Servant. And then two other bricks of the deck, Dark Magician and Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Alrighty, so why are we running Gimmick Puppet? Why are we running Dark Magician in this meta, you might be asking? 51 viewers, what's up, guys? So Gimmick Puppet is still one of the best going first option in the game. I don't, in this format, you might end up seeing people main Crow, but I don't think Crow does enough in this current format because you do want to banish the princess. However, you need to banish more than the princess for it to be that good. So for that reason, more people are going to end up being on Bell, and Soul Release. So I think Gimmick Puppet is actually going to be better this format. All things considered, there are going to be less people running outs in their main deck to Puppet. Because in this format, it just felt like a lot of people were running Crows and Bells. Next format, we might still see that. However, I still think that Puppet is going to be able, from my testing alone in Phantom Nightmare, it does feel a lot better. This is something that could be cuttable going into the format. I'm going to be going into the format with Puppet. Because as I said, beginning out, this format isn't going to begin as like a 40% fire format. It might develop into that, and that's why we're going to have to end up maining Nel Shadal Ariel. But right now we're not. Nel Shadal Ariel is a very cool card because when it's sent to the graveyard through a card effect, you get to banish 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard. So that essentially deals with a lot of the fire cards that the princess can end up targeting. You can deal with the Ambler Whale. And you can send off a Grand Guignol. I don't think we need to run that. Currently, if I was going into a tournament the first weekend of the format, we need to get an idea of where these decks stand in terms of power. Yes, Snake Eye is very good. It's going to be the best deck in the room. I don't think... Branded has amazing matchups still against Fire King. Don't get that twisted. I made a video on this for that reason. We have Dragoon, which is a card they can still not out post Phantom Nightmare. Same with Rescue Ace outside of access code. Well, Fire King might be on access code at that point too. However, we have a really good Fire King matchup. So I still think that we need to run the Dark Magician for that reason alone. Dragoon just goes really hard into both of those fire matchups. They really don't have great ways to out a Dragoon. They have a way to stop you getting to the Dragoon. However, going first, Dragoon, you're going to want it. And then going second, it's pretty good to break boards. On top of that, you're going to see Kashtira is probably a top 6 or 7 deck. You're going to see a lot of Kashtira. Kashtira is quite good right now still. As we saw from how this last format developed. So I think that Dark Magician well warrants its slot right now. And same with Puppet. But Puppet, if you end up seeing people running a lot of Bells and Crows, you probably just want to side this out. I just think it's going to cover a lot of your other matchups. And the fact people are going to be on a lot of Bells means you can play around the Bell and do an uninterrupted Gimmick Puppet, which is something we are going to have to talk about a lot more because doing an uninterrupted Gimmick Puppet means that it's unrespondable when you do the Gimmick Puppet target with Sanctifier, so they can't Bell that. And that's what you're going to have to play into. So the last monsters are 3 Droll and Lockbird. I think we need to run Droll and Lockbird. We do have the Fire King matchup and the Rescue Ace matchup to contend with. Also, just like other rogue like Vanadium. we weren't running this in the main deck last format because there wasn't a whole lot of point to, like, Fire King, yes, lost to Droll, but the other decks didn't as much. Now with a lot of decks, including a pure Snake Eye variant, going to be running around that automatically loses to Droll, and these are the best decks. You know, with Bonfire on top of that, these decks are playing into Droll way more. So we want main Droll. This is our only hand trap. We are no longer maining Ash. Ash is quite bad this format because if you go Ash on like their Ponix or Snake Eyes Ash, they just make Hida and then they summon your Ash and then they continue to make Princess and go off. So there's really not a whole lot of a point to run Ash Blossom in my main deck. A lot of other decks will be maining Ash, but some might not be maining Ash for that very reason. Which is going to be good for Branded. This is one of my points on why Branded is actually quite the good meta call right now, because this is going to be like the worst Ash format in quite some time. So I think Droll and Lockbird, though, well warrants it. It's obviously bad against the Labyrinth decks. However, Labyrinth transaction rollback's good, guys. Labyrinth is not good this format. What's up, Nick and E? Yo, Chris, let's get you that Starlight Dragoon, brother. I'll check the binder again when I get home. I appreciate it. Typhon is pretty prevalent, though. Takes care of Dragoon pretty nicely, so beware of that, Branded bros. Of course, and that's why, because of Typhon, I think a lot of people in the current format need to have a safe plan for Typhon or play around the Typhon summon. You can usually see a Typhon summon coming when you're like, if they make Typhon here, do they win? You know? So that's when you kind of have to, like, realize and stop their plays. And then also... having the Albaz in your pocket is huge, or setting up through the Rinbrum is huge. Always just like set up Rinbrum so you, just in case they go for the Typhon, you can just, you know, because they end their turn on Typhon, and then you can go Rinbrum, target Albaz, summon Albaz, contact Fuse off for Mirror Jade, GG. I'll get over to the rest of the comments once we get through this deck profile, guys, but I do want to finish this deck profile. So yeah, 3 Droll, best hand trap this format. You need to run it in your main deck. And just running 3 out of 45 card build means you see it a lot, and I would not run this card at 40 cards. I mean, I could, but I don't want to see 2 Droll ever. I think at 45 cards we end up not seeing it too much, which is nice. Like, you know, you don't brick on it, rather. All right, so the branded spell and trap cards, 3 brand fusion, 3 opening, 1 red, 1 loss, 1 retribution. We are off of the branded high spirits because we don't have enough dark, enough darks in our main deck, so there's really no point to. However, I think it would be a good option. Like, if you want up your Saronniers and run a Magnamut, you could put back in the high spirits. I just, I'm not too much of a fan of it in this build without the higher dark or dragon count. But outside of that, or the second Grand Guignol, which we are not on. So yeah, these are quite standard. Resolve branded fusion and you win the game. Also, this is something I failed to mention in my why we have a really good Fire King mashup. Always make, and this is something Galzo mentioned in his deck profile a lot, so shout out Galzo. You want to send branded opening to the graveyard a lot, this format, because this card makes it so the Kieran can't just non-target pop, you know, your Mirror Jade or something. So very important to be keeping these in the graveyard. Sometimes you can just send this off a Quem if you need to, or Albion if you know your matchup or what you're going against. So definitely something to keep in mind as you guys go through this format. We got 45 viewers right now. What is up, y'all? Y'all are insane in the chat. We're gonna definitely answer most of the chat. What's up, guys? Oh my gosh, we missed so much chat. What's up, Liam? What's up, No Vanity? What's up, Ismail? What's up, and Wild? Yeah, we're just gonna go through this deck, finish this main deck now. 3 Nadir for the extenders slash non main deck engine or non-engine. I mean, like, this is engine, but I do like Nadir a lot right now. I think we're going to be running into a lot of hand traps, so just having the Nadir to play through multiple hand traps is going to be invaluable, frankly. That's why I think we need to be on it right now. I think you could go away with not running it last format, and I think you could potentially this format. It's just how you want to build your deck. It's something that could, if a lot of people just end up running a lot of hate towards Nadir, serve it, and the Droll becomes an issue with Nadir, I could see myself siding or taking it out. I just think as of right now, it's quite good because you need the advantage that Nadir generates because Populace just generates a whole board. So you need your own Populace, and Nadir Servant is essentially that. Nadir is asked, do not play it, says Nibiru. I don't agree with that. Nadir is actually quite good, but it's all right. Now, so dump Quem with opening. Do you mean opening with Quem? I mean, I was saying you can, basically. It's what you need at the moment, you know. Make sure to keep your openings in rotation, kind of. So I do like the Nadir right now because you kind of just need the advantage, or else you're going to get hand trapped on your Luber, hand trapped on your Brand Fusion. If you don't see the Thruster Nadir, you're not playing the game. But, you know, that's to his or her. So one Foolish Burial, no Gold Sark because Gold Sark plays into Droll and Lockbird quite easily, whereas this card does not as much because obviously you send Tragedy, but a lot of the time this is just like sending Puppet, sending Albion, sending Saronir, which are all things that play around Droll. So that's why I think we can, this is like a God card in the stack and we can keep this in there. Yeah, so that's why we're keeping this in here, but and no Gold Sark, we just don't want to play into Droll. And then 3 Thrust, 1 Talents, and 1 Fusion Duplication. And then I guess we could do the 1 Called By for the other anti-Ash cards, plus non-engine. So you have the 3 super, well, I guess I should show this then too. We have 3 Super Poly, 3 Thrust Talents, and then we have the 3 Droll for about 10 non-engine and a 45 card deck. That leads to ratios where you do see about 1 to 2 non-engines, basically every hand. And you're able to, and any of these non-engines lets you play the game into a Fire King board. So that's why I think Thrust is very good right now. It's always going to be live going first or second. There's just no way with all of their monster effects that need to trigger in order to set up their field, because they end on Ambla Whale Pass and then end up using monster effects to set up their board further on your turn. Fire King Snake Eye decks. So I think that Thrust is quite good for that reason. 1 Talents, we could be on like 3 Talents, but I think 1 at 45 is just fine. And then you have Duplication because you run the Thrust. Duplication is just an insane card. You can use it also just like going second after you break a board if you need to. But usually you side outgoing second. It's one of those side patterns that you can just always side outgoing second, but I think you kind of have to run because of the Thrust. 1 Called By, it's just insane, this format. I wish this was at 2 or 3. Right now, it's going to be insane, this format. So there's actually, it's really good going second. So yeah, no point not to. And then 3 Super Poly. So we got to talk about Super Poly. I was told a lot by people who were testing a lot of Phantom Nightmare that Super Poly was not going to be good. As it turns out, Super Poly has a really good interaction into Promethean Fire Princess, because most of those decks are going to have 2 fires with different attributes out. That makes a Mud Dragon, if you guys know. And Mud Dragon's effect says you can chain it, call an attribute. Monsters on neither side of the field can be targeted if they're that attribute. If you call fire, Promethean Fire Princess cannot use its effect because a fire monster cannot be targeted. So this means that Super Poly is quite good into next format. Quite good. So, now a lot of these boards, however, are Ambla Whale Pass, but you usually can just do a play, get them to go Ambla Whale, and then make Mud Dragon, and then shut off the princess. Super Poly is something that we could reconsider halfway into the format, but I think there's no reason not to run this. It blows out all your matchups. It wins all of your rogue matchups. It wins you the fire matchup. It also wins you the Voiceless Voices matchup because you get rid of their ritual. Now, they do have their continuous spells and trap cards you have to be aware of. So that's why you probably want to like banish it, but Super Poly is going to be amazing this format, as it always is. It's the God card of Branded. So yeah, that's why we're running it. And like I said, guys, thrust is just so good. We could be on cross out. I recommend for the budget players out there, if you don't have the thrust, and I would run the cross outs or 3 talents. And then if you're on the cross outs, you can run a hand trap package. For that reason, it's probably talents. I just think that we need the gas this format. We can't just be running like Ash Blossom in our main like we could last format, in my opinion. I don't know. That's why I'm running the Nadir Servant. We kind of just have to be able to go toe for toe, and if we're just bricking on Ash, it's not helping. Chase, every time I see Super Poly in my hand, I win. Yeah, that's basically it. Thoughts on playing the new U-Bell fusion, 1 U-Bell for Super Poly? Maybe with the field spell. The field spell is actually quite good. U-Bell is going to be quite... It's going to be quite all right given when the field spell comes out in Legacy of Destruction. So I will be testing with that eventually. Emil says, can't send opening with Quem. Need Albion. Opening doesn't mention Albaz. Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Lots of viewers. Hell yeah. Let's go, guys. 52 viewers in the chat. Make sure to leave a like. Check out those links below if you want to support the channel. Very much do appreciate y'all. This will be re-uploaded as a VOD. So we're going to go over some questions right before we get into the extra deck right here that I missed. Fam Nightmare will be... No Vanity says Fam Nightmare will sadly be a set with a crazy long-term impact and probably open the tier 0 format. I love the diverse meta until now. Yeah, we are going to... It's going to be very much like the Kashira format of Nats, or maybe even the YCS Philly, where the center of gravity is going to be fire decks. So you're going to have to tune your deck to combat these fire decks, so you don't just auto-lose to a Populace. But I think actually Legacy of Destruction is going to be way more impactful. We will see. But Legacy of Destruction is looking really good too. What's up, Paul Bedix? Mattias, because of you, my indecision between Cash and Branded is increasing. Just play Cash Branded, bro. Let's go. Someone knows. Hi, YouTube, says Liam. Yo says on Wild TV. What's up, bro? If I don't own Quem, would be a good card to replace her. Adlib is the best card to replace a Quem, for sure. Adlib is the best. It's basically Quem, but from the hand. So Adlib does the same function Quem does, except for her normal special summon, which is like half of the reason why she's like good in Brand Despia, but still. Her second effect is actually like her more devastating effect. Yeah, no, Vanity D basically got you there. If you don't talk in Thespian vernacular, you aren't playing Despian correctly. Exactly. Like, guys, I have the Thespian vernacular right there, and if you become a Despian member for $5 a month now. Yuri Diaz, 42 viewers. Guys, make sure you like the video and help my boy up. Let's go. Quemon Lubellion is FTK. Yes, sir. What? Toga, get it. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. What about Darklaw? Darklaw is quite good. I mean, we could always like think about doing Max Change the second in our deck, but playing into Darklaw is annoying, obviously. You make a Dragoon in that case if you aren't under Dark Angel, though. So I've been thinking, Chase says, I've been trying Nadir at 45, and I think I'm going to take something out for it. Yeah, no, like, Nadir felt bad last format. You guys are going to have to test a bit this upcoming format, because I've been testing Fam Nightmare, and I quite like Nadir and Fam Nightmare. I think, given the landscape of the non-engine that people will be running, the Nadir fits in quite well in the Branded Despia deck. Thoughts on playing? Yeah, right. Toga, I feel like this meta mask change, Darklaw, is super good against fire decks. Yeah, that might be. Well, that's why I was thinking actually about running D-Shifter. A lot of people have been thinking about putting Shifter in the Branded side deck. We'll talk about that when we get to the side deck. But the Darklaw thing actually might be worthwhile. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be something I want to try, so thanks for that. Got you, says Lewis. Legit built this deck with all the cards I had in bulk, Lamau. So you will play 3 Nadir, which will play into Droll, but not 3 Shrouded. Please explain the logic. Because it doesn't play into Nadir. You can add from the graveyard. Nadir does not play into Droll. Like, you can... a lot of the time what you want to do with Nadir, because you guys have to remember that Nadir actually... says you can add from graveyard, which plays around Droll, which is actually why I want to run a kit. But yeah, let's just get focus on that if I can, camera. Yeah. So then add one Dogmatic or Fallen Albaz from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You are very likely going to have either a Quem or Albaz in your graveyard or Shrouded Dragon. So, and then you can proceed to go off. So this actually plays around Droll. Don't get twisted. Just remember that, guys. And that's why I think it's going to be good this format. You guys just have to play around people, you know, the Droll. You just have to be smart about it, play around the Droll, guys. So... Nickany, can you post the list after the deck profile? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that after. Do you mean like a text list? Because I was gonna do that in the private chat for Despian members, but this will be re-uploaded as a VOD tomorrow. Don't worry. Side deck as well. Yeah, we're gonna get into the side deck right now. Have you ever noticed why you say at the exact same frequency every time you say it? Don't expose me like that, brother. I'm trying not to. It's just like my way of just filling dead air, and I'm trying to get around it. You guys should watch my videos from earlier this year. They were so much better. I used to be a lot better of a public speaker, but we're working on it. So be back in a little bit. Hey, what's up, that Salty Fries? He's a man of consistency. What's good, fam? How's it going, brother? All right, let's go into that extra deck. I just caught up on some chats, guys. But remember, this will be on YouTube. So if you want to leave some questions and get on YouTube, definitely leave them down below or say hi to YouTube. So, Chase, if you're a Droll, you aren't allowed to use that card. Oh, is that true? I'm pretty sure you can, though, if you have a card, if you have a target in graveyard. But I could be wrong. That's something to consider. So we're gonna get into the extra deck. 2 Albion. So yeah, 2 Albion, very standard. 1 Mirror Jade and then 1 Lubellion. So extremely standard. I've actually been thinking about running 2 Mirror Jade. This is something that I'm going to be considering, like either the ad lib or the second Mirror Jade. I just think I want to have a lot of options currently. You've had it ruled like that. Yeah, no, because I know on Omega, I'm quite sure that I'm able to add off of that. So that's something I'll have to just clear up. If that's the case, then I still think Nadir is fine, considering we're running 10 non-engine in a 45 card build. There are going to be some hands where you don't see your engine, so having the Nadir will allow you to go full combo still. You know, so, and then obviously you can just attempt to not play around Droll and make it so that the Nadir, or they Droll you after the Nadir. Thoughts on Shifter on the side? We're going to talk about that once we get to the side deck, guys. So yeah, we got 1 Lubellion, 1 Sanctifier. So Sanctifier is like the best card right now. It's genuinely probably the best card in the extra deck right now. That's why I do think that Gimmick Puppet gets a boost for this format. There's a lot of targeting going around. Of course, Kieran doesn't target. However, with like a lot of the other targeting card effects going around, Sanctifier is able to get over that. It's basically FTK against Kashira and Rescue Ace. So when in doubt, just make Sanctifier. A lot of the time, it just puts a lot of pressure on your opponent that he can't answer and provides a thing to just constantly give you advantage. And remember its second effect, it can come up. And then we have 1 Rinbrum, 1 Titanclad. So Titanclad, well, we'll talk about Rinbrum. Rinbrum is incredible right now. You basically get to make Super Poly like the Arvada or just another Fire King monster. However, the Fire King board is looking a lot different nowadays, so Rinbrum gets a little worse than it was last format. I still think it totally fine there because you need this card to set up like the Typhon crackback or just another interruption on your opponent's turn that they can't deal with. A lot of the time, your opponent will just forget that's in graveyard or just forget about its graveyard effect. So Rinbrum target Albaz to make Titanclad or the Mirror Jade goes extremely hard, or just like Stapelia or something like that. So we got Titanclad also. I still think that we need the Titanclad. It can get you the Quem or the Maximus, worst case, or like an Albaz, let's just say. The spec Albaz is very important in starting games. And then, of course, just for your rogue matchups and able to get over Pearly, It's like one of your outs for Pearly, just getting it to a point where you can out the Noir or just have an unaffected. So yeah, that's why we're running these, of course. And then we have the Despians, 1 Grand Guignol, 1 Despian Lulu Wall Lilith, and 1 Quertus. So Grand Guignol, obviously, I kind of want to be running 2 Grand Guignol in this format, I'm not going to lie. Quertus is, I don't know, I've seen some builds cut Quertus. We're obviously running the Lulu because of the Nadir Servant. I think Lulu's amazing right now. Lulu's basically an Omni Negate, guys. So that's why I do like Nadir as well. It just gives you reason to run Lulu. It's quite good right now when a card leaves the extra deck. It gives you more options, and Quertus is just there as a failsafe that a lot of rogue decks just can't deal with. It's not great into Fire Kings, but certainly there to just get you there, and I would never cut it. 2 Grand Guignol might be something that we consider into this format, though, for sure. Then we have our 2 Super Poly targets. We have Garura and Mud Dragon. Mud Dragon is way better than Garura right now, but I think we have to run the Garura, especially since we're running the Nadir Servant. If we weren't running Nadir Servant, I would still run this, but still. Mud Dragon's just quite good, though, because currently it has an effect where, you know, like I mentioned before, you can declare 1 attribute. This card becomes that attribute, and then your opponent cannot target this card or monster on the fields with the same attribute. So it turns off the Princess from being able to target and extend. So that's very crucial, and that's why we are on the Super Poly of this format. Yo, you got the member only emojis, guys, that you get if you are also a Despian, just like Yuri Diaz. And here are some of the generic fusion monsters, excuse me. 1 Guardian Chimera. I think Guardian Chimera is still fine. I mean, the pop 2, you kind of need this in the crackback against Kashira right now. Elsewise, I've considered, and also against Rescue Ace, it's really huge just to pop the back row and go in for like a Chimera play at first to out those back rows. It's very huge in that matchup. If you you know, or the Dragoon play, obviously. So 1 Dragoon. Dragoon just basically is a card that is unoutable for most decks, so we run it, and it also gets rid of your hand trap issue because we run Nadir Servant. So Nadir Servant allows us to go make a Dragoon plus full combo, which is pretty huge. And then Stepelia is quite good in the grind game. It's something that I've seen some people cut as of recent. It's just that every time I cut it, I regret it. It's just very free, and if I predict that we're going to be seeing as much Despia as, you know, I don't think it's going to be every table is going to be Despia whatsoever, but I think that there's going to be Despia at top table still. Stepelia is going to be very good, but it's something that we could potentially cut out maybe for a second Mirror Jade. Like I said, guys, your mileage may vary. I wanted to give you guys a blueprint for this upcoming format. So let's get into the side deck now. Let's talk about some of the read some of the chats before we do that. Oh yeah, thoughts on Shifter on the side. So we are not running Shifter. So Shifter it's a good card right now if you can run it, because it shuts off the Fire King matchup. It shuts off all the Promethean plays. However, in our deck, it doesn't shine that much because our best play outside of that is like going Dragoon or Renbrum and passing. That's not that great. Especially going first or second. Like going first, it actually sounds a little better than going second. But if you go second with Shifter, you can't kill them. Like you don't have a clear OTK line like Pearly does, which is why Pearly is able to run Shifter in the main. So, yeah, I don't think there's really too much of a point in us running Shifter until we finds like maybe if I was running the Borreload Furious, maybe. Nadir can play under Droll if you pitch Maximus or Quem or even Albez Yuri Diaz. Yeah, see, so I was right on the Nadir. It does play through Droll. Is Omega the best sim for testing? Asked Nickany. I think it is. I mean, it depends. Like, because I think it's the best automatic sim by far. I think between it and DB, is definite questions, because I think at the top end there are better players on DB on that ladder, and you'll be able to find them easier. And also it has a way better system to test like future formats, because you can just like write down, hey, test post fam nightmare, and like you usually can just like, you know, it's a lot easier to set up those kinds of games on DB, which is nice. It's also nice because you get to take back your plays. I like Omega a lot though for for grinding and like testing in real time with players, because I get to go through a lot of games quickly. I get to and the games go by a lot quicker, and also you don't have to worry about being taken hostage like in DB, which is the biggest problem with DB. You just get taken hostage most of the time at the low. I've heard obviously at the low levels, but it's just annoying when like the season resets like every couple months and you just have to do it again. So yeah, I pray for all you guys to draw Super Poly in the mirror. Let's go. Yeah, Super Poly. That's why Super Poly is just so good, I think, in this upcoming format. I think it's completely incorrect not to run Super Poly, but we'll see how it ends up. And Wow says, hi, YouTube. Quarius low-key infuriating, says that Salty Fry. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of decks that you're just going to want the Quarius for, because it's almost impossible to out for certain decks. If you don't have it, you're just gonna lose when you need it. Kind of like Stepalia. That's how I feel about Chimera to a certain extent. Like, you don't always go into these cards, but when you do, you're gonna want it there. And while is Mirror Jade really worth cutting to one? I'm scared, Lamau. See, you can loop it pretty well with Quem. That's why I think it's pretty fine. And I think in this format, it's gonna be like a lot of blowouts. Like, it's not gonna be as grindy as a format. So I think that one Mirror Jade is just fine. You could run two. I just never need the second one, so that's why I don't run it. Emil, I'm not sure what you said, but how's it go? That's awesome that you do have a Russian viewer. Let's go. We love our overseas viewers as well. Appreciate all of our branded brothers from across the world. We got 3 Nibiru out here. I think Nibiru is going to be quite good into this upcoming format. Fire King, Rescue Ace, they all extend into Nibiru quite hard when they're trying to kill you. So Nibiru is going to be invaluable for that. It's actually almost main deck worthy, but it feels weird to main it without like Ash and like Imperm. So I'm having this here just for going second, basically. And it's going to be quite good into this upcoming format, in my opinion. A lot less Lab, a less Centurion. So Nibiru is going to go, and less Pearly. I mean, we'll still see Pearly, but that's why we have the Herald of the Abyss. Herald of the Abyss outs the Pearly Noir, where you get to search it off a thrust. And nowadays, they don't really have the resources to set up the out for Herald of the Abyss. So Herald of the Abyss is quite good. And it's just a one of, so, and it's also, you can use it on Fire King theoretically. Like, I don't think you would ever side it in, but it could be there. So one Soul Release is there because it's our thrust target. Obviously, we get to select 5 cards from the graveyard and remove them from play. So this is going to be used to blow out a lot of the fire players and their loaded graveyards, so they can't just manipulate Ambler Whale and Promethean Fire Princess with their Populous opener. This will blow them out if you go Soul Release usually. Or at least get rid of an Omni Negate, and usually they don't set up an Omni Negate on their end board, so that's why Soul Release goes very hard in main phase. So we could run Gravekeeper's Inscription, but it's not good off a thrust because it's like Cold Wave. You have to activate it at the beginning of the turn. So Soul Release is our best option. It's a thrust target. It's going to be live. So that's what we're running right now outside of the Nal Shadal. I mean, this is 1 card versus the Nal Shadal's 2, and Nal Shadal also adds a brick. So yeah, that's why we're running those. Yo, Wonky Badger, how are you doing, brother? How are you doing? Love to see you in the chat, brother. Emil, Bulgarian, we know each other with that other guy. Oh, nice, brother. That's awesome. We got Bulgarian viewers up in here. Shout out to Bulgaria. A Stroker, but Rescue Ace can play around Nib, I think. I mean, kinda, but like it's really good when they're playing into your board nib as well. Like you guys have to remember nib is quite good going first, so it's just really versatile in that sense. That's why I like it as a side deck card. It's good for going first because you can use it as a failsafe if they play into your board, and then you can tribute off monsters that you don't care in the graveyard because you've exhausted your effects, and then you can go end phase Albion and then crack it back and then win. That's why Nibiru is quite good going first, especially in branded. I know I did say it was there for going second. However, I still think that's quite good. And Rescue Ace, they aren't always able to make the Omni Negate under 5. And then they also, I'm not sure if it's one of their spells or trap cards you're thinking of. Of course, they can. But that's why you nib at the very last possible scenario. Yuri Diaz communicating with our branded brother. So yeah, let's get into the rest of the side deck. This should be 3 forbidden droplets. This should be 3 forbidden droplets. I can't find my third right now. So I think droplets can be quite good actually to clean up a lot of the boards with like Baron, and also just Kashira boards as well. A lot of Baron's going to be around either way, so droplet just like does a number to those decks. It also gets over Centurion, or in the branded matchup, it gets over the turn skip. So that's why I think you need to run droplet. It's either this or Dark Ruler. And this is a lot more versatile than Dark Ruler. Like, Dark Ruler was very good in Kashira format because you didn't really have, like, a whole lot of other things going on besides Kashira. And Droplet is just really a lot more versatile. It covers a lot more matchups, so that's why we're running it. This was a Tikaboo. You can run a Tikaboo. Like, this could theoretically be a Tikaboo because Tikaboo is actually quite good at 1 in our deck, so this is something you should consider to run. Tikaboo is really good against the fire decks, so but it's at 1. Then we have 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone continues to be one of the best spells and trap cards of the format because you're obviously going to be able to pop the Fire King Island. And also just like other things like the, My Friend Pearly or the Birth. Cashier Birth is really annoying right now, especially for our deck. And the anti-spells as well. Cashier Birth really does hurt our deck. And then I've heard rumblings that anti-spell might make a comeback. So Cosmic Cyclone just is really going to be there in case and it's really good in the grind games against Fire Kings, obviously. You want going first or second against Fire King. I covered this in my How to Side and Branded, guys. If you guys haven't already checked out that video, go check it out after the stream. We upload the best side cards in Branded. We go over matchups and side patterns, what to side out going first and second with Branded. Very highly requested video, actually. A lot of you guys have come into this chat and just be like, hey, can you guys like make a guide on how to side with Branded? And we got it out there. It's a 26-minute guide. I covered basically everything. So yeah, Cosmic Cyclone's very good. It could be Lightning Storm and Feather Duster, but I think these are way better. Like way better. So like, I don't even want to say it could be. Like, for this format, it really shouldn't be. Because the Sanctuary obviously gets over Feather Duster and Lightning Storm, and then a lot of the boards don't really benefit, or like it's hard to Lightning Storm a lot of these boards. 57 viewers. What is up, guys? We're just finishing here out our Fam Nightmare deck profile. We got the 3 Fantastical Dragon Phantasmes. So why are we running Phantasme this format? Because Phantasme in this format is going to be incredible. There's going to be a lot of links. SP Little Knight was already taking over the format. Now every fire deck is going to be running or ending on a link called Ambluwale, or there's going to be Princess Plays as well on their turn. So a lot of the time you can actually get 3 cards out of Phantasme, which is pretty crazy, which is pretty nice. Like, not just like the one for one. It was for a lot of the last 2 formats. It's also a dark, so you could run a lure if Droll really doesn't end up like being in the format, which it will be, but it's something to consider. It's also a dragon, so these are things to consider if you want to end up running like Borreload Furious or something of that nature. So yeah, 3 Phantasme is going to go very hard against basically every deck in the format outside of Labyrinth right now. Just going second, you're going to want to side this out against basically everything except for Pearly, maybe Kashira too. but you know, a lot of those fire decks are really going to have a tough time with Phantasme, especially since it has its targeting negation, which there's going to be a lot of cards that target this format. So definitely useful in that regard, and I think is going to be very much worth it. I've seen the OCG run it. I know you can't take direct comparisons from the OCG, but I still think that it's been very good the last couple formats, and there is no reason why it shouldn't get better, given the fact that a lot of decks are now going to be ending on their links, like Amblowell. So yeah, guys, that was the deck profile. Very much looking forward to this upcoming format. Looking forward to testing a lot, playing a lot of events, going to the YCS. I presume Raleigh will be under this list in this format, but we will see. I think Branded's an amazing option, as you guys know from all these videos. Keep spreading the Branded love. Try to spread the knowledge too, because this deck's very good, very underrated to some people. There's lots of lines that you guys, I just want to get out there so you guys can go out there and win tournaments for Branded. Oh, was that 14 cards? Am I missing one? 5. That is crazy. Yeah, you are right about that. Huh. Oh, that's because we have Masquerade here. There it is. There's the Masquerade. We'll have to do a little bit of a cut in there. But thanks, guys. Yes, the 15th card is Masquerade. Time option. Time option. And then also, it puts people on a clock. It's a nice card to make. When you like put them on like 1600 life, so it's basically a guaranteed win. You can also just like side out one of your extra cards that aren't good in that matchup and put this in for game 2, and then obviously the time option to just make sure that you win when you can. So yeah, that was the side deck, the main deck, and extra deck for Brand Despia. If you guys want to see the VOD re-uploaded, it will be up tomorrow on the channel. Also, for all you Despians, if you join the channel and become a channel member, I will have the text list and a picture list of the deck profile in the Branded chat. So definitely make sure to become a Despian by becoming a member for $5 a month if you want to support the channel and get all those extra perks. Get some videos early too. Lots of fun stuff. So I put Masquerade in my side and put Proskenion in. It's actually goated. Yeah, I've actually thought about putting. I think Proskenion is quite good this format, actually, because of Grand Guignol being able to summon it out, and then you can interrupt your opponent's graveyard quite well. Something to consider. I still think Luluwell Lilith is quite good, so it's fine. Jake the Mountain Man, I've been having a good time with Despia and Proskenion over Quertus. Yeah, it might be worth it this format. I just like Quertus is just such a good card. So Joe Delvicio, I have 4. Should I send one to your PO box? What do you mean? And while I see I kind of want to run Masquerade, but no space, Lamau. Yeah, I mean, I found a space for Masquerade with this. It's Masquerade, I think you don't necessarily need, but it's also a card you don't want to lose in time with, and some games might end up being grindy. Like, it's not going to be like cash format where your games were like 20 minutes. Like, you either puppet locked or not. Or you got shifted. Watch there be a card called Branded Brother eventually. Oh my gosh. It'll have me and Yuri Diaz on there. But yeah, so that was the deck profile, guys. Very much appreciate all you coming to check it out live and everyone watching on the VOD. If you guys would like to see some more brand content, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out all the links below to support the channel. TCG Player Affiliate link. The Streamlabs link if you'd like to donate and support the channel, become a channel member, check out my Twitter, join the Discord, whatnot, affiliate link, all that fun stuff. And also, if this VOD ends up getting 150 likes, what can we do for 150 likes? We can do an updated branded combo guide for Phantom Nightmare format. I think that sounds pretty good, honestly, all things considered, because there's a lot of combos that I would like to at least like in terms of interactions with Fire Kings that we need to be able to deal with, and we'll do like Fire King interactions, Snake Guy interactions, and like Rescue Ace interactions, basically. So yeah, make sure to leave a like so we can get that, and yeah, see you guys later. So yeah, that was just like the VOD. That was the VOD intro. We're still streaming, guys. Don't leave. Can I play my new Starlight Mourners this format Kappa? Oh my gosh. See, Mourners, Ghost Mourners are nice. That's why I like playing Tier Limit, because I don't feel bad playing them in there. They almost feel like an engine piece, but maybe not this format. Tips against Runic and Kashira. Dragoon is quite good because they can't target that card. They really can't out the Dragoon, so Dragoon is my recommendation for both of those. Also, Cosmic Cyclones in the side to deal with the Runic Fountain, obviously. Really does help. Runic is an issue. It can become an issue. I think there's also a lot of different ways to run Despia this format. Like, you could run a Runic variant. You could run Pure. You could run Synchro. You could run, you know, various different engines. You could run the Chimera engine. So yeah, I do definitely think that there's a lot of different things that you could be doing with Brand Despia. Yo, Lord Commander Argentius, $10 from Lord Commander Argentius. Obligatory donation to an old friend. Who are you, bro? Because I don't think I recognized your name. What's up, bro? Appreciate the $10, my man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Nice to see old friends in the chat, as always. No, I think Ghost Mourner, I do very much. That's awesome. Thank you very much for the $10. That's a huge donation for the channel. Always love to see old friends and new viewers, or both in your case, in the chat. So Ghost Mourner, oh no, never mind. I was thinking about Spooky Dogwood. Ghost Mourner, I would run Valor over Ghost Mourner, unfortunately. I would run Valor over Ghost Mourner just because it's an engine piece. You can at least make Sanctifier with a Valor in hand. You can't do that with Ghost Mourner. Yeah, really do appreciate Argentius. We got Yuri Diaz in the chat getting the membership. We got Argentius donating $10, and then we got 50+ viewers in this stream. Y'all are really just coming out showing the love for my first stream back in almost a week. I took a few days off to just get a mental reset. And now we're just getting a nice grind schedule out there. We got the streams every Monday and Saturday, and then also we're going to be doing our upload schedule basically Sunday through Wednesday from now on. So if you're looking for uploads, they'll be around Sunday through Wednesday with like shorts sprinkled in between. Strucker Hino against Runic, Droll, Bell, Artifact Lancia, and against Kashira, Artifact Lancia, and Ogre. I do think Lancia is good with this format. That's something I failed to talk about in my side deck video. Artifact Lancia is going to be actually kind of good this format. It's something I could have ran over the Phantasme, frankly. It's good against Rescue Ace. It's okay. It's really good against Kashira. It's really good against Runic. It's not great against Fire King. Would not be signing that against Fire King. Yeah, you'll have to message me, Argentius. Appreciate you. I see. Any tips versus Runic Bestial? Yeah, I mean, don't go for Puppet under or against Runic Bestial. That's my advice. A lot of the time that Runic Bestial, the way to stop them, you need to stop their regained loop. You need to stop their fountain loop. If they are able to just like go first, draw 3 fountain turn 1, draw 3 fountain turn 2, and then step regain, there's not a whole lot you're doing, honestly, through that board, unless you have hand traps, which is why I like hand traps, guys, and branded. Like, in a wide open format with Runic, that's why I liked Ash last format and Imperm, because you got to not auto lose against like against certain decks that would just set up going first. I think that this format that changes when he does the thing, and you're going to want to run more blowout-y cards like Super Poly and Droll. So that's fine. Already did, bro. Hell yeah. Yeah, so, and then like I said, Dragoon does a lot against that deck. So, yeah, guys. Any other questions on this build before we get into some games, guys? We're definitely gonna. I'm gonna test out this list. We also have a few different lists to test out tonight too, but I don't think I've missed any chats. I think I got to all of them. If I didn't, please re-chat them. But yeah, no, we can talk about a little bit more about Nadir though, because Nadir and Droll, like, because a lot of the time what you can end up doing is, like, let's just say you draw the Maximus as a brick, you can end up pitching it so that Nadir is live. Or what you can end up doing is you can put Quem to the graveyard when you make Grand Guignol with Cartesia, and then you're able to what's up, Armando Mendez? Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, so, and then even if you're under Droll, you can activate Nadir Servant. As long as you have a legal target in the graveyard, you can send from your extra deck to the graveyard, then target the Quem or the Maximus and draw it. So you're perfectly playing under Droll. That's why I think it's quite good right now. You know, it's something you don't really have to necessarily worry about. I might want to run the second Quem though for that reason. The second Quem is maybe the one oversight of this deck profile, will not lie. Like, the second Quem are an ad lib, but I think I would do the second Quem because of the Nadir utility, of course. Nice to see you, that Salty Fry. I was gonna say I don't know if you're still here, but shout out that Salty Fry mod in chat. I've been on 3. I'll be on the Shroud Dragon. I love it. I love it too, bro. I love it too. I'm not on it post Fam Nightmare because Droll and Lockbird is gonna be one hell of a card, and I don't want to lose to Droll and Lockbird. That's why I took out the Gold Sark. The two of the Shrouded Dragons, put it down to 1. You know, just minimize those hands where you have to search a bunch of times just to get to your Branded Fusion. I just want to draw a hand where I have Branded Fusion, essentially. Or at least, like, they draw me after the Aluber, so I can at least still, like, go Nadir by getting the Quem or Maximus in the graveyard, because you can obviously make Sanctifier by sending Maximus, guys, because it's a light spellcaster. Remember that. So that's a very easy way to get Maximus in the graveyard. Make sure also, guys, we have a lot of viewers right now. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 3K right now. We are about 50 subscribers away from 3,000. I wonder if we can hit that before the end of the month. That would be wonderful. Great way to start off 2024. Almost at 2023. I'm apparently a year behind, and very much do appreciate. Y'all have been really showing the love on my streams and my videos. And it's just, I love being a content creator in this community with Yu-Gi-Oh! Whenever I play Yu-Gi-Oh!, I do YouTube as well. It's just something that goes hand in hand. And this time around has been my best experience yet, because I've met so many great people and a lot of just, like, I have a wonderful community here. It's just like we have the best old branded community here. And we're all just pushing each other forward, trying to push the deck forward. Also, just, like, showing off other decks, obviously. You know, the Fire King deck profile got, like, 8K views a few weeks ago. That's crazy, guys. Very much appreciate all the love. So, Joe Del Vicio played Tactics and said, yeah, Tactics is a very good replacement if you don't see Thrust. Damien says, I got no Thrust. Should I run targets anyways just because? I wouldn't necessarily run the Duplication like you can. I just wouldn't. I think Duplication is just really broken off the Thrust because it's so free. And I think that instead you could run Tactics or you could run Crossout. I think Crossout's fine if you run a hand trap package. If not, you probably don't want to. You want to run the Tactics, which is still cheap. Cut down to 42 then, or replace the Nadir. Yeah, or you could replace with Nadir. Nadir is quite good. It's just effectively another card that lets you play through Ash's Nadir. So, something to consider. So, ayo, do we get the wrist-mounted Dex too, says Lord Argentius. Oh my gosh. I wish, brother. Yeah, no, if you Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in my day was just like, you're playing on your dual discs and everything. No. I wish. They need to have a modern dual disc come out. That'd be so funny if you could just, like, roll up to an event and play on the dual disc. I don't know why my ads keep playing so much. I'm sorry my ads are playing so much. It keeps telling me my ads are playing so much, so I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna keep, like, ending the ad roll. What's so good about the gem backpack, says Nickany. I can show off my gem backpack quickly. I think gem backpacks are amazing because they're just extremely well designed for a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I'm not sponsored by Gem Accessories, guys. I've done a review on my gem backpack. If you guys just search it, I think I have a proc review playlist. It's under there. Gem backpacks, if you go to any like YCS or nationals, you basically will see a gem backpack anywhere. And they are a little expensive. They're like 90 to 120. Like mine was like 120 because it had like really premium materials. But overall, I was using, like, I've used other backpacks with Yu-Gi-Oh! And none of them have ever been as ergonomic for Yu-Gi-Oh! They're just well designed for Yu-Gi-Oh! All the space. It's meant for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. You have everything you could possibly need in that backpack. So let me grab it and then we can talk to chat more. Would you do three nib or two Pank in a masquerade, says it in wild? I just don't think Pank is very good this format because Princess kind of like makes it so the thing you're targeting can just get popped. Unless you're targeting a back row, which is a very good point of Pank. We could maybe run it for that reason. I think Pank is really good against like Runic too. So it's something to consider to run Pankratops. Where did you message me, Argentius? You probably messaged me on Facebook. I'll have to check it out. In the side, so I think Nib is really good though. Like it's really good going first or second. I think it's better than Pank because Pank is only a good going second card. And a lot of decks are gonna end up playing into Nib this format, so we'll see. I think you could probably keep, if you want to do the Pank and Masquerade, that's fine though. It has, like, if you have a lot of that's the thing, guys. Base your side deck off of the people around you at your locals and the event you're going to. What do I mean by that? If a lot of people play Labyrinth at your locals, you need to have Labyrinth sides. Even if Labyrinth isn't the best deck at a national level, if it's the best deck at your local level, you're going to have to design your deck around Lab. Or you're going to be losing some games to Lab. Kind of thing, you know? So, if Nib isn't going to get a lot of mileage because you have a lot of Lab and like Centurion around you, don't. If you're going to an event, obviously, I think my ratios are correct. Considering what you are going to be expecting. Thoughts on Double Masquerade Blind 1, Ivan Yo? It's cute. I've just never been a big fan of it. I don't, like, I'd rather play Blackwing at that point and get the triple burn at that point and at least, like, pretend I might game you. With, like, an armor, with, like, a full armor master. Argentius, yeah, we need that shit back. Yeah, they took something away from us in Argentius. No, for sure. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, we just play on tables now. It's not so much, we don't get wild with it anymore, but, or bring back backpack or card games on motorcycles. Free of Montana, 2 openings is crazy. Wait, Nickney, wait, so back to rulings real quick. If you get rolled and you can still activate Nadir, it's because the add to deck and graveyard is an aura effect. Yes, that's exactly what it is. See where, yeah. So, no, well, it's not focusing. I can just read it to you guys. Yeah, so it says send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Then add 1 Dogmatica monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck or graveyard. Wording in PSET is a huge thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. Very much like the wording just determines a lot. Like in the OCG, you can ERAD transaction rollback because of how it's worded. In the TCG, it's currently being ruled that you can ERAD the first turn, and then the next 3 turns, it does not activate. Just because of how it's ruled, or because of how it's translated, because of the wording. So the wording will always be the thing there that you guys have to consider. That's why it's always good to ask a judge if you're on, like, attempt to play, ask a judge, and then just see if it's legal, if you're unsure of something. 2 openings is crazy. I was running 3. I was running 3 opening in my build. I don't know if someone else said that they were running 2. Joe Delvicio says, been contemplating Fenrir in the side. I would main Fenrir if anything, because it's like, it's quite good going first or second. In the side, it's like, what matchup are you putting it in to blow it out? Because your side deck is supposed to be for cards that blow out matchups that you normally have a tough time with. So Fenrir doesn't do that quite against anything. Fenrir is just kind of like, it's kind of just like an imperm. Like, would you side imperm? I don't think I would. I'd main it if anything. Also, you can to draw 1 to discard. Like, the main part about Fenrir is like you get a card to discard off of Super Poly or like another Guardian Chimera target. Like, and then it's an interruption. That's mainly like the best part about Fenrir, and branded outside of its ability to break a board, sort of. But like I hesitate to call Fenrir a board breaker because it's really not. I mean, it is nice to go over an SP. I will not lie. It's really nice to go over an SP with Fenrir. So it's probably a board breaker in that respect. I'll recant my statement. 2 Pank is broken. 3 opening is absolute, says Freedom Montana. Yeah, I agree. Pank is good against Labyrinth. Yeah, Pank is good against Labyrinth too. Why do you say it's like necessarily good against Labyrinth? I'm curious about the interaction with it. Because like on its face, it doesn't seem that great against Labyrinth, outside of like getting rid of the floodgates. Maury, hi, new here. I've been playing Branded since before the structure deck, oh really? So you're playing like Despia. That's awesome. Which version are you playing? I'm playing OCG branded with 1 fusion and such. Well, I'm from the TCG. I'm from Buffalo, New York. So I'm out here playing the TCG. We luckily have the 3 branded fusion. I try a lot of different branded builds. I like the Synchro build. I love like, I'm trying out a new Kashira branded build. I mainly play Branded Despia. People know me for Branded Despia. People mainly know me for like the gimmick lock too. Like one of my most viewed videos is like how to do a 1-card gimmick lock. I see that like shared around like branded groups sometimes. I just get like a smile. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, so I'm a control player. I've played Shadal, I've played Bujins in the past, and Domain Monarchs. Like, those are 3 of my most successful decks in the past. So, I kind of like to be a little toxic, guys. So I do play a little bit of a control variant where we have like one of the strongest going first in the game with the Gimmick Puppet. But we're also playing Branded, so we have one of the best going seconds in the game because we run Super Poly and Fallen of Albaz and Fusion deployment. Soul Release is certainly going to be something I need to think about this format. If it's going to end up being enough for Fire King, I think it is, all things considered. It's just the game 1. I'm like, maybe I want Crow in the main or something, but probably not. Freedom Montana, bro, for lab, all you need is 3 ghost spells and 3 Ash. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, that's why I wish I was running Ash in this build. I was actually, before this video was up, or I went live, I was actually running Ash in the side for lab. I just don't predict that many lab. If lab takes over, I will probably put Bell and Blossom in the side deck. Because those cards just win that matchup, and without them, you have a little bit of a tough time. But our non-engine's quite good against lab still with Thrust and Talents and Super Poly. The Droll doesn't do too much, but we can side that out. And considering that we aren't going to be seeing them more than probably 5% of the time, all things considered, I think maining Droll, where it's going to be good 95% of the time, is a lot better. Kakeru Leonhardt, new here. Show your build, please. Don't you play Thrust and Trap Polycopy? Yes, I do. We actually just did the deck profile, guys. But I can, like, kind of still talk about stuff. It will be re-uploaded as a VOD, though. I could at least, like... yeah, why not? We can just, like... zoom it out a little bit. Like, show the whole build a little bit. So... I think that And guys, remember, just ladies and gentlemen, just remember, if you want to leave any questions down below, I'm here to ask them. I'm answering your branded questions here. We got 42 viewers. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. Support the channel. You know, you guys got I lost my train of thought. If you guys want to support the channel, all the links down below are great ways. We're going to show this deck list, keep talking about the deck list. If you guys have more questions, just leave them down below. I will get to them. I love answering questions on branded, because when I go to events, well, twofold. Because when I go to events, I see other branded players, and like there are other really good branded players like Ryan App. Like shout out to Ryan App, or like Matt Pelletier. These are two very good New York-based branded players that you might have seen deck profiles for in the past. And they had a big influence on a lot of my builds earlier in my branding career. But then like I'll go to events and I'll see people who like, I'll imperm their Aluber under Cartesia, and they don't chain Cartesia because they don't know that Cartesia will make the imperm dodge. So we all start at different levels with Yu-Gi-Oh, which is totally fine. That's why I'm putting out a lot of this free information, so that we can all get up to speed with branded and push the deck forward. Whether you're TCG, OCG too. I love talking OCG, so shout out to one of our OCG viewers right here with Kakeru. Manadium and Fam Knight says Unwild. My locals is Vanquish Soul, Flu, Orcus, Bestial Runic, Dino, Virtual World, Fire King. So yeah, and like that scenario, like I would look at like who are the top players amongst those and hone more on that in terms of your sides. And then, but it's very wide open. But if you can find a card that works against all of those decks, like Dragoon to me stands out as the card that you would want to be running in that locals, because Dragoon puts in insane work against all of those decks. So Stuckerino says, I think Labyrinth will be the best deck this format. Do you have any hand traps against it or other cards? Oh, yeah, they were answering your question before. So, yeah, Ash and Ghost Bell and Crow, or I would say Bestials more than Crow. Crow doesn't do a whole lot. Like, the Bestials give you a body on top of it, which is, like, what you want. Get the old bricks up here. And then the only thing I play is 3 Albaz. Everything is 2 or 1, says Mari. That makes sense. I would love to, yeah, what is your build that you got going on, Mari? Mari is, sorry, our OCG player here. What's up? Because do you play the grass version? I wish we could play grass over here, but grass is currently banned in the TCG. If I were an OCG player, I think I would personally probably be on the grass build, because grass is just an insane card. It's another card that reads win the game when it resolves. So if you're playing, it's just more copies of Branded Fusion at that point. And then I also see basically builds in the OCG that look like my build with Nadir Servant to make up for the fact that you don't have 3 Branded Fusion. But also that's why I feel, also thanks for the subscription, Be Nasty. That's why I also think Nadir is going to be pretty good this format. I see it doing fine in the OCG. Now that is partially because of Brand Fusion at 1, but I do think there is a lot to playing under Droll with Nadir Servant right now, which is going to be one of the most prevalent cards. So you know how it be. Dragoon worth playing this format? Yes. It's insane because Rescue Ace and Fire King cannot out it, essentially. It's untargetable, undestroyable. Can you guys let me know in the chat what Fire King does to out a Dragoon? I'll give you guys a few minutes. And then also Rescue Ace at that point outside of access code. Outside of access code. Joe Del Vicio says that makes sense. I like it against Pearly and SP and also Bestower and Kieran. Oh, what's up, Lord Chimera Gentius? Super chat $5. What's up, bro? Man, I remember when the biggest endgame threat was Exodia. Yeah, no. Actually, what's hilarious about that is someone actually won a feature match at a really huge tournament. This guy named Jeff Leonard, who's a goat in the community. Him and his kid actually play Yu-Gi-Oh events all the time. They're such a cool thing to see, father and son combo, and he won a feature match against a very good player with Exodia. So Exodia is actually still walking around, which is very cool. It was one of the best moments of the whole year, just because everyone know it's the 25th anniversary of the game and everyone knows Exodia. So it was just a very beautiful thing. It was one of the best moments in Yu-Gi-Oh history, frankly. Just because, like, to show that Exodia is still out there, and man, you can go out to an event, learn the game at any age, and still just have a fun time and still pop off, you know. That's what I love about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's about the community. It's about the traveling. Like, winning in the card game is great. Like, I love winning. I love the competitive edge. I'm a gamer, so I like to win. But also, I cannot lie that, like, even if I go, like, X3 on an event, if I'm still chilling with my friends afterwards and going out to eat, like, I'm having a great time, man, no matter what. Especially when I get to cheer on my other friends as they're doing well. Like, obviously, or just the vice versa when you have your friends to cheer you on. Like, also just, like, meeting really good players. That's one of my favorite things about going to an event. You get to meet new players. You get to meet new friends. Because everyone bonds over the same hobby, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! So you're able to basically just start a conversation with anyone there over just Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, we love events. That's my shilling for events PSA. So this is the deck as we see. Oh, we have to move over these a little bit. So, yeah, no, I appreciate the $5, Lord Argentius, my homie. I saw your message on Facebook. Definitely get back to you. Awesome to see you out here. Hope you're doing well, brother. Miss you, man. So, and Wild says always there's lab 2. So that's something about the lab comment. I don't think it's going to be the best deck, though. I really don't. So I don't think you'll have to worry about it too much. Mari, subscribe to the channel. Oh, thanks, Mari. Appreciate it. Yeah, I really don't think you need to worry about Lab too much. Like, yes, Transaction Rollback is a very scary card, and Lab's a very good deck against us. They have a very bad Fire King matchup. I'll tell you guys that right now. They have a very bad Fire King and Rescue Ace matchup. So, the issue is going to be for that deck is you probably don't want to play it if you want to win an event. Just frankly. It's going to be a good deck. It's going to have good matchups. It's not going to be good against the best decks. So, have you played any Unchained Labs, Chris? Yes, Unchained Lab, it's interesting. Like, you just have to remember that Red Dog exists against that deck, and it usually only comes out once it's too late, which is the thing. So you just have to remember that banishing the Yama is going to be really key in that matchup. And then also just stopping their turn 0 Erads, because that's what they like to do in that build. Kakiru Leonhardt, how many cards do you play? Don't you play Brick with Thrust and Nadir? Don't you Brick with Thrust and Nadir? I personally like it a lot, actually. I'm at a 45 card build, and I'm running Super Poly and Droll. So it's 6 non-engine that... well, I think Thrust is always live. That's the thing. So Thrust is never a brick, and Nadir is theoretically never a brick. So that's why I think it's just fine. I was saying before, guys, you could cut the Nadirs. I just think Nadir is going to be very good to play under Droll this format. And I was testing with like 2 Thrust. I just don't see myself not playing Thrust. So if anything, I will cut the Nadirs, get some more space. But I've played both for a while, and I think it's just fine. I got my top at the OTS and my invite with running both of these. They are very good. And tandem, of course, it does brick sometimes, but not together. What is bricky about Thrust is drawing to Thrust. That's the bricky part about Thrust. So if anything, I'm like, maybe I could not run Thrust in the main deck. Like, I've seen people side Thrust sometimes in this deck, which I think is like fine. at the end of the day. Shibby, or Mari says, how many cards do you play? I play 45 in this build, by the way. This is a 45 card build. Shibby says, I feel like I'm the only Ohio branded player. LOL, says Shibby. Did I play against you at the Ohio Regional 2 regionals ago then? Because I played against a couple branded, or I played against a branded player there. What's up, Shibby, though? Appreciate you coming through the chat. Joe Delvicio says, repping Florida for all my branded people. Yo, branded people across the states, across the world. Let's go. Thanks for subscribing, Be Nasty. Yuri Diaz with the gimmick puppets in the chat. Kakiru Leonhardt, have you seen Galzo's list? Don't you think Puppet is risky because of Bell? Sorry for so many questions. Oh, no, I love answering the questions. Sorry, I'm like really behind on chat, guys. So I think Bell plays into Lost really, really badly. So I think it's actually kind of fine. And the fact that people are not going to be, I don't think people are going to be main decking Crows anymore, and on top of that, Ash is going to be kind of bad this format. So I think there is all the reason in the world to think that Gimmick Puppet is good this format. It's been good in my testing post-Fam Nightmare too. It's obviously something that you side out going second, and I could potentially throw it in my side deck, but I want to get those game 1 easy wins, save on time, and just like get to game 2 and 3, you know. And it's a good brick. I don't run alert on brick out of the hand going second though, but that's fine. You probably aren't gonna end up seeing it. But yeah, no, we talked a lot about it during the deck profile. I'd recommend after the stream to go back and watch the deck profile, or just watch the VOD when I upload it tomorrow, the edited deck profile. Because I think Puppet is going to be just fine. It's going to be better post-Fam Nightmare than it was before in terms of the format, because this last format I thought Puppet was almost cuttable, frankly. I thought Nadir was bad too for a similar reason. Now that things that go against those cards are kind of slightly getting worse, it's fine. Have you seen yeah, so I do like Galzo's list outside. I don't think the Ash Xiao Galzo, love the guy. Branded GOAT. Would love to do something with him in the future too. You know, he holds it down on YouTube. He paved the way for a lot of us, so all the love to Galzo. I just did not like the Albaz the Ash, and I don't think it's very good. I think it's a little cope, just because if we didn't run in Kashtira format with all the targeting there, why would we run it this format, you know? And also the Mysterion, it's cute. I just don't think it's that good. But besides that, it's very solid list. And also, I think not running Puppet's fine. I think you can run Puppet or not run Puppet. I don't think I was running Puppet last format, and I was doing just fine. And that was a really bad Puppet format. And that just like goes to show how good Puppet is, because most main decks don't have an out to Puppet. Yes, there are people running Bell and Crow, but not everybody is. Not everybody has that luxury. And even then, you can do the uninterrupted Gimmick Puppet. I'm going to have to do a video on that, because a lot of people forget that you can chain Sanctifier on the Fusion Summon under branded Lost, so that your opponent cannot respond to the Sanctifier with a Crow or Bell. So, like, the Bells hurt more, honestly, on your Albion than anything. And that has nothing to do with Puppet. So that's why I don't think Puppet really has to do with anything with, like, the whole Bell argument. Sam Beals subscribed to the channel. What's up? What's up? Road to 3K. What do you think of running Tumor Courier, says Joe Delvicio. I think that Tumor Courier is actually fine. You would just want to probably run the lure at that point, but in a bad Allure format, I probably won't be running it. Free Montana, what do you think of 2 Shroud Dragons? I think it's fine, but you would have to play it with the Allure, and like I said, you're playing into draw more. So like I think 2 Shroud Dragons like fine. I just like wouldn't run really too many more. You're just playing more into draw at that point. You want to see your non-engine. Dropler GG, says Delvicio. Bell doesn't matter, man. You can search Mercurier, bro. Yeah, exactly. Like Mercurier can like negate it. Do you know you can negate Ash if you summon an Albad fusion with Mercurier? It can come up with Cartesia. Yes. For facts being spit by Yuri Diaz in the chat. Free and Montana Fire Kings can't out Dragoon or destroy because Dragoon can't be destroyed by car effect. He will gain 1,000 and become a big boy. Hell yeah. Unwild TV. My side looks like 3 Droll, 3 Crow. Like it more TBH. 3 Cyclone, 3 Evenly. Got 3 slots. Not bad at all. In that case, I mean, you probably want Nibiru. Nibiru or like Phantasme, just like another hand trap. Or you could do like Tikaboo or like Summon Limits, not bad right now if you want some going first options, of course. Is your buddy still playing the 60 cards going into the next format, Nick and he asks? I think he's talking about you, Yuri Diaz. So Yuri, are you playing the 60 cards going into the new format? Mari, I play 53 cards as of right now. I don't play Puppet. It's more of a branded Bestial tier variant. No grass currently, the way I see it. You're good. If you're a good player, you can play any build. That is facts. Those are some cold, hard facts by Mari in the chat. That is why I love branded. It's probably my favorite deck I've ever played. I've never played a deck where you can build it just however you want. Like, it is, you can just have your, you just need your 9 branded Speller Traps, the Albazes, and not even the 9. You just need the Albazes and Fusions, and then you build everything else. Like, you run Chimera branded, you can run Kashira branded, you can run Runic branded, you can run branded Synchro, you can run Puppet or no Puppet, or you could run Tier branded, which is very cool. I was actually thinking about testing Tier in this deck. I missed when Tier branded was a thing. I wasn't playing the deck at the moment. I was actually playing Tier Limit when Tier branded was a thing during full power Tier, but I feel like it has potential. What's your opinion? Says Shibby. And also, no grass currently. That's fair. I might run the grass at that point if you're running the tier elements, but it's a different meta. So, you know, with Maxi and everything. How do you feel about Maxi being in your format? Does that, like, change things as a branded player? Excuse me. Still got 45 viewers in the chat, guys. Y'all have kept that viewer count above 40 people this whole time. Y'all are the best. We're gonna have to do more streams, guys. This is beyond lit. Shibby, what's your opinion on the new Ashen archetype? Worth picking up or not? I think if you can get the cores pretty cheap, I think it's worth it. And you will be able to, most likely, unless it has the Dark Souls tax. But besides that, I think it's going to be worth it to pick up just to see what the next 2 waves of support will be, because we get a new wave of support in Legacy of Destruction, and then the OCG will get like a couple other cards to throw in the mix of Ashens when they get a hold of the cards, and like so like they did with the Guardian, like they did with Gold Pride, so, and that's what usually makes the decks good. So I would keep it for now. You know, they'll be probably as cheap as possible halfway between now and Legacy of Destruction. So I'd wait basically until then and get those cores. They aren't going to do anything up until then. That card has a good, their boss monster has good potential as a side deck card too. Playing Brand after being on a flu for a while, says Lewis. Oh wow, you went to flu, bro. We gotta talk about that. That's like my worst matchup. I hate playing flu. How did you like flu? Was it treating you well? Lord Argentia says, thanks, man. Hell yeah, brother. Really glad to see you out here, brother. We're gonna have to hang out soon. You look always busy with works too, so definitely have to get together one of these days. Kakeru says, isn't it too bricky with Puppet, DM, and Nadir and Super Poly? Well, Nadir is not brick. Nadir is the last thing. It is the last brick in your deck. Maximus is a brick. Nadir is not brick. And like, yeah, but sometimes those cards are really good in your hand. Going first, Dark Magician, like, and actually going second, Dark Magician in your hand is a very good card because you can usually just hard make a Dark or Dragoon with a Cartesia. And Puppet going first is a really good brick. So I've limited the bricks. I think that's why I want to put maybe thrust down to 2, so I don't draw 2 thrusts on top of those cards. That's what I'm worried about. But we're at 44 cards. With the Nadir just adds so much consistency to it. That's what you have to understand. Going second, it could be considered a brick, but going first, it unbricks a lot of your hands because it's a 1-card gimmick puppet combo over here in the TCG. You just go Nadir Servant as long as you have access to Albaz, or like if you have the Bring In Bucephalus package, it's a 1-card gimmick lock. Or you can sub a double Mirror Jade. Or you can make Dragoon and then go Brand Fusion. Then you can go Nadir Servant. So hands are consistent as well, says Mari. Hell yeah. Do you like the tier stuff? Like, do you like? So when I tested the tier stuff and branded, I'm like, this is like an engine to get Mud Dragon mostly, unless I'm running the King of the Swamps. Like, do you run the King of the Swamps to get like the Rulu and the Grapha? That'd be pretty cool. Crossed out, says Victor Martinez. Can you play without Dragoons? What would your deck list be without Dragoons, Brody? I mean, I would take out this. I mean, it wouldn't change too much, right? You would just take this out. Then you would take out a Dragoon, and then you would put in like a second Mirror Jade at that point, because Dragoon acts as your second Mirror Jade in this build. It's a second card that can just like, once Mirror Jade's outed, you can be like, great, Dragoon, a better card, like in certain scenarios. So yeah, and I just like Dragoon a lot because I play against a lot of lab. You need that, and then also Fire King. It just does a lot to Fire King, guys. You guys have to realize that. Definitely is a very good card against that deck. So, but let's be honest, as Nickany, what non-engine is a brick drawing 2 of Kappa exactly. I got Gray says I go 42 thrust on the side, 3 cross out, and 1 called by in the main. That makes sense. So yeah, I think this format's going to be like, we're going to want to get as close to 40 as possible, but I'm like happy with 45 because with running 3 Droll, 3 Super Poly, 3 Thrust, I don't want to see multiples of any of those cards. So the 45 makes it so I don't. Kakeru Lena Hart says, somehow I didn't get into the air because I thought it wouldn't be good, but it seems good. Seems to be good. I mean, like, it happens. There are arguments not to run Nadir, but I'll show you guys like a Nadir combo to show how plus Nadir goes. Maybe that'll help. Nadir just is a card, and I really think the utility to play around Droll is huge right now. So, you know, things to consider. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. If you don't want to run Nadir, I think you're doing just fine not running Nadir. That's what I love about branded. You can design your deck and just design it correctly around certain ways, and you know, you don't need to run Nadir in certain situations. James Bud VO, what's up, bro? How's it going, my guy? Nice to see you as always. Running 60 card brand Master Duel, killing it, lol. Trying Mysterion in the extra deck for the extra sauce. That Galzo sauce. How are you liking Mysterion? It's something that on its face to me seems good, but I feel like in practice might be a little underwhelming because it has to be going second, right? Or it has to be going first. Like, you don't just like, I mean, you can make Mysterion, but that's not what you want to make off your branded fusions. So certainly is something to consider. Be sure to let me know how you like it. Shout Galzo, says Freeman Montana. Shout Galzo, the GOAT. How does your extra deck look like? Kakeru, Leonhardt. Okay, yeah, we'll get that out. How do we want to set this up? Yeah, we can just like move everything up and put the extra deck here. Okay, so Nadiri, Super Poly, no. Victor Martinez. I mean, I do like it. I do like the cards. I think they're good. Super Poly is very good. I think Nadir's fine. Thanks for subscribing, Sam Beals, Levy. Why is Ash going to be bad this format? So Ash Blossom's going to be bad this format for one very, very, very specific reason. Hida is a link card that can revive a fire monster out of your opponent's graveyard that is extremely summonable by a Fire King or Rescue Ace player. If you go Ash Blossom on a Snake Eyes Ash or on... I'm going to skip this ad so you guys don't... Yeah, so if you go get the... if you go Ash on Snake Eyes Ash or on Populous or on Hydrant or any of these cards, they can most of the time immediately make Hida and revive your Ash that you just used and immediately go into what they were about to just do. That's why Ash is going to be pretty bad, and this is why we should not be maining it. Last format, I thought was very good maining in it because you had a lot of lab, you had a lot of diverse, you had a hugely diverse meta. This new meta is going to be a lot more homogenized. You're going to have like 6 to 8 top decks, and the rest of them are not going to be that good in terms of those 6 to 8 decks. I mean, it's still going to be a very diverse format. Like, that's the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I can't even say that. Like, there's going to be, like, 16 decks. But fire decks are going to be about 30% of, like, the pie chart. I still think that certain decks are going to have a better matchup. Yuri Diaz. So, yeah, that's why Ash is bad this format. Because a lot of these decks will run Hida and just play through it, so that's why it's basically just a neg on you to even run it against a fire deck. It's very good against Labyrinth, but Labyrinth is not going to be that prevalent as a very bad Fire King matchup. So you want for Labyrinth, but in that, since Labyrinth won't be that great, you don't need it. You can side it, but even then, it's not going to be good against the fire decks. So, you know, I don't think there's too much of a point of siding it for that reason. Maybe even Ghost Bell we could side over it. Something to consider. Yuri Diaz with the uninterrupted gimmick puppet lock is the 2-0 Yuri special. Exactly, respectfully. Yuri Diaz, yes, I'm testing 60 cards. I really like it a lot because it's all engine, but there's no right or wrong way to play branded IMO. Exactly. I mean, there are wrong ways to play branded. Don't. That is not true, but there are a lot of ways to play branded. Alrighty. I was playing Manadium, but I also used to play Branded. But due to everyone maining Droll because of Populous, I just jumped again into Branded, Kikaru Leonhardt. Yeah, I actually used to play Manadium. I still have my core here. Losing to Droll is actually way more frustrating than losing to Ash, because your deck legitimately just stops the second the Droll hits the board, for the most part. So that is why I think Branded is a pretty good call this format. Because you don't lose to Droll, and that's why you shouldn't play cards that make you lose to Droll, like the Allure of Darkness and the Albion the Shrouded Dragon. That's why I cut them, guys. So, oh yeah, sorry, I gotta get out the extra deck, guys. Got the Despians right there, the Quertus, the Grand Guignol, the Luluwal Lilith, Titanclad, Rinbrum, Albion, 2 Albions, Mirror Jade. Yeah, we're gonna have to push things up. Not sure. It's getting a little messed up, but it's alright, guys. Got the Lubellion, Garura, Mud Dragon, Stapelia, Chimera, and Masquerade. Oh, Masquerade was a side deck card. So that is the extra deck. We'll talk a bit about it, guys. So I'm gonna finish these chats, and then I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then we will get into the extra deck. Do you side out Nadirs versus Kestura shifter decks? Yes. I also side it out against I don't really side it out against anything else, but basically the shifter decks is what I will side it out against. Hopefully it's some cool Pyro extra deck monster, says BX Be Nasty. Yeah, that'd be cool. And Wild says thank you so much. I'm not sure what you're thinking, but no problem, brother. Yuri Diaz, you Yes, you side Nadir. You can side out Nadir, is that presume what you mean? Mari says, yes, Max C hurts a lot. It can be a turn ender. I have to play very conservative. Here it's only one fusion, one oh, it's one opening too. That's crazy. That's crazy. One opening, one fusion. That is nuts. One of the Bystials and such, not too bad, all things considered. I'm playing 3 Max C. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why, like, I think we should be playing Droll this format too. Like, I see a lot of brand lists playing Max C. Like, it just makes sense. So you don't run Nadir. That is actually slightly surprising when you have one brand. If you, unless you did say you're running Nadir, I could be wrong. Chaz going by a little fast. So you just let me know. But I love OCG. I think it's an infinitely interesting format. I used to think it wasn't like that great, but then I realized Max C doesn't really ruin the format as much as I thought it did, and it makes it actually a much more conservative format, which is a different way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I like that. I still prefer the game probably without Max C, but there's still a lot of value in playing OCG. It's a very cool format. May I ask you why you don't play Libitum? It's a brick. Every time I draw it, I just lose the game. That's why I'm usually on. I just prefer 2 Quem over the Adlib typically. And I like Adlib with Allure, and even with Allure, I don't think it's that good. I think with 1 Mirror Jade, it's pretty good. I still can't find the reason to run it though. Like, if you're resolving Adlib, you're probably already winning the game is my issue. And Quem does a lot of the same function Adlib does. So I don't think you necessarily need it. But, you know, it might be something I'm going to have to consider back in the main deck if the games get a little bit more grindy. But, like, last format was really grindy and I wasn't even running it. But I thought it was pretty good last format. I don't think there's anything wrong with running Adlib, especially if you don't have the Quem. Nikini says, yo, Yuri, can I ask you on Discord about your post-PHNI 60 card list? I'm sure he'll help you out. Joe Delvicio says, I'm feeling Magnum the Reliever over Mysterion. Yeah, Magnum the Reliever is really nice, especially if you're running like a patchwork build. That sounds very cool. Also, Perskinion is crazy in the new format. Yep, I agree. I mean, I think it's good in the new format. I don't know if it's crazy because it's like you have to trigger Rangwagnall. And it does. It does go crazy. In that. Yeah, no, I'll have to start testing Proskinion, guys. Thanks for subscribing, Dre187. Very much appreciate it. We can get the side deck here. And then, of course, the Masquerade. So Tier Monsters recycles my fusions and such, also with High Spirits dumping Rulu Kalos, sending a tier name as a free Predaplant. Oh, that's really cool, actually. I might steal that line. That's a cool line. That's actually a really cool line. Sending a tier name for free, searching a Albion for a draw makes my deck very grindy as well, which I think is very good this format. I did say it's going to be less of a grindy format this format. I still think it's going to be a grindy format. It's not going to be cash format where games just like ended in turn 1 or 2 basically. Yeah, no, bringing back your opponent's SP Baron Dragoon is just nuts. Shonadir Bomb combos. Yes, we will do that, Nikini. Uriel Diaz, I'll post my current 60 card build in the Discord. Sneak peek. Thanks, Yuri. Make sure you guys like and sub Kings. Says Yuri, join the Discord. Hear the words of Luber, secret spells from the wisdom of Quem, and quotes from the Diary of Cartesia. Facts in the chat by Yuri Diaz. Nadir is a must, says Mari. Yes, I was going to say, yeah, Nadir sounds like a must. Joe Delvicio, LMFAO, I feel the same about Adlib. Yeah, no, like, every time I see it, I just lose the game. Like, I know it's a good card. It's not good in my hands. And, like, for that reason, I just don't run it. I still advocate for it because I know it's a good card. I just don't think you need it with Quem being a thing. Uriel Diaz says Adlib, just the boy in the background that helps you be evenly matched with Brandon Rudd. Well, that works too, I guess. Joe Delvicio says so many games have been like, shit, I need the Proskinion because you tag out Grand Guignol and have him steal something in their grave. Yeah, no, that's that's definitely a huge thing to think about with this upcoming format with like all the graveyard interaction. So I can't wait for the spell card Monster Reborn to come out. That's gonna be really nice on this format. So yeah, guys. I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then we're gonna do Nadir combo. So just gonna put up the BRB screen, and we will be back in like a few minutes. Really appreciate y'all checking out the stream. We'll be back in just 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to show off a Nadir Servant combo or two. And then, if you guys have any deck lists you want me to go over, go post them in the Discord. I already see Liam's deck on there. We'll go over that after these Nadir combos. And then we can review some deck lists, because that's always a fun thing to do on stream. So make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. And then you can post your deck list. Whatever deck it is, I'll be able to give you better advice on branded Despia. But, you know, I know every other deck too, so. Thanks for subscribing, Galvin Walton. Very much appreciate it. Road to 3K subs. We might actually be able to hit it by February, but we'll see. Appreciate everyone who stuck around after I went on my slight break. Got 26 viewers right now in the chat. So I use Havness over Adlib because she also isn't a break if you open her. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a cool way to put it. Respect the Adlib choice. You gave me advice on my side deck, bro. Oh, no problem. And Wild. So many games I've been like, shit, I need. Yeah, no, I read that. So yeah, Nadir Servant is. There's a lot to do with the Nadir Servant right now. Because right now, if you just have Branded Fusion, this is typically the line I like to go down. We go Branded Fusion, and then we can go Albaz, and then we can also send the Dark Magician. Let's just say we have another card, because we're gonna need like another blank card just to discard, just for the Lubellion. And then we can go Lubellion effect, discard our blank card, and then we can use effect to spin back Lubellion and Dark Magician for the Dragoon. And at this point, you are playing around an Imperm. Or, well, no, you aren't playing around an Imperm. But you are making the Dragoon so you can actually set up a secure Gimmick Lock. Or just like a secure board. Because now you can go Nadir Servant, sending Garuda, and then you search, obviously, the Maximus. And then you draw one off of the Garura, and then you summon Maximus, banishing the Garura, and then you use Garura effect, or sorry, Maximus effect, to make you send 2 to the graveyard. And then you can send Albion and Luluwal Lilith. And at that point, you're actually kind of chilling, because then you can go end phase, add Cartesia to hand. That gives you a discard for the Dragoon, which in this situation you usually have another card, and you could go another way. Like, you could make a Mirror Jade instead if you like, and get the Tragedy so you have another thing in hand. That's always a play too. This is just like something that I think is a more practical. This comes up a lot more. And then we can go end phase, yeah, obviously, and then the Lulu effect. Lulu's just going to get the Cartesia, and we still have the Albaz in graveyard, which is kind of huge. And then we use the Shrouded Dragon effect to set the Branded in red. It's all quite standard, but the fact that Nadir gives us just like a free Dragoon. That is what I really like about it, when Dragoon is such a good card this format. And we can still make the Grand Guignol at this point. We have not. So we pass turn. We give the main phase. They go like Bonfire. Okay, chain Cartesia. Use her in the Cartesia. Or her in like probably Maximus, I guess. Yeah. So you keep a card in hand if that's your only card. But if not, like, you could do the card in hand. And then go Grand Guignol effect. Granny G is going to send the puppet at this point. You could also send Rinbrum if you wanted. It's really just dependent, but like, I think this is a better play because then you can go Branded Red, targeting Albaz, fuse off with either Granny G or Cartesia. Hopefully you have another card in hand. Let's just say you do. If not, you banish the Grand Guignol, so you keep the Dragoon Negate, obviously. But that's not usually what you want to do, and most of the time you'll have the other card in hand. So yeah. And then you can go Brand Red, get the Sanctifier, target Puppet, and likely Cartesia, because then you could also make, depending on your hand, like if you have the Albaz in hand, you can go, or if you have like a Dark, you can make a Stapelia next turn. So yeah, that was a, and then also there's a 1-card gimmick lock I should show you guys for the people that aren't necessarily familiar. I just don't have the cards in front of me, so we might just have to proxy a couple cards, but I think it will serve the same purpose. So, hey guys, new player here. Brand Despia is the first deck I want to build, says Dynamite. Well, you chose a really good one. It's a really good deck. If you resolve Branded Fusion, you basically win the game. So, I have some links in my video description on a pretty good way to start you off with Brand Despia. How I played Brand Despia playlist, where I put a bunch of really informative videos and guides on what you need to be considering with Brand Despia, like things you have to be looking out for, and interactions, matchups, combos, deck profiles, all that fun stuff. So definitely would recommend checking that out. But if you have any questions, we're here too. Have you got any of the cards yet? Jello Del Vicio says, I think Exo Sister will be the next best rogue deck, falling just behind us being meta. Maybe. I see, I was thinking that too slightly, but I've talked to my friend who's been on Exo Sister, and he said it was a really bad last format. So if it's a really bad last format, I don't know if it's gonna get much better this format, but we'll see. I mean, obviously Princess does turn it on, so but the other things they were doing would turn on Exo Sister stuff, so yeah, what was I? And then, oh yeah, so these are going, this is going to be a Brigand, and this is going to be a, it's going to be a Bucephalus. So the 1-card Nadir Servant is as followed. Remember, we're proxying, guys. Nadir Servant. Send Bucephalus. This is Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus the 5th. It's like the Link 5. Tri-Brigade. You do that, and then you get to search out a Maximus. And then on resolution, you get to go Bucephalus Effect. Bucephalus Effect makes you send another winged beast from your extra deck, Beast Wing Beast or Beast Warrior from your extra deck to the graveyard. At that point, you are sending Brigand. I'm trying to think. Would you send Brigand or... Yeah. Yeah, no, you have to send Brigand. So, yeah, you send the Brigand. Brigand's gonna end up getting your Albaz access. So then this goes to the graveyard, obviously, and then you go Maximus Effect, banish the Bucephalus because that's no longer doing anything. Then you go Maximus Effect, and this can end up sending your Albion and now Lulu, and then you can basically just go end phase there. And then you can activate the Brigand effect to get a Albaz into your hand. Or you could special summon it. Either or. Probably just add it to the hand. And then Lulu effect will get out the Cartesia. And of course the Lulu Wall Lilith will get out the Branded Red, because we still need that to complete the super poly. Then we pass to our opponent's turn. We go, then we have to make them basically go into the main phase to activate Cartesia to get the Gimmick Puppet in graveyard. So we are going to then use Cartesia after they go their first action, and then use Cartesia effect, sending specifically the Albaz because we need to make Brandon Red go online. And then we get to summon out Guignol, and then Guignol effect will trigger. Guignol will then send the puppet wherever the puppet is. And then we can immediately just go Branded in Red, targeting Albaz, fuse off the Maximus since it's a light spellcaster. And then we get a Sanctifier. Probably want to put in defense so they don't Talents take. And then you go Sanctifier, target the Nightmare and the Cartesia, and then you spec one to each side of the field, and you win the game. So that was the one card gimmick lock. You just need to play two kind of like not great cards in your extra deck. However, Brigand's kind of good this format with a lot of the targeting, so maybe there's a point to go back to the one card gimmick lock. I personally like the 1.5 because it doesn't require you to run two extra deck spaces. And all you need to have is access to Cartesia or Albaz, so you don't have to, you know, send the Brigand. Wilson Aries, what's up, bro? How you doing? Oh, we're just chilling, bro. We're just having a great stream out here. It's been a very, very good stream so far. We're just going over some combos with Branded. We just did a huge deck profile of my post-Fam Nightmare Branded deck profile. So, talking a lot of post-Fam Nightmare Branded. Lots of really nice decks, or nice deck choices and all that. So I think I'm going to end up using 2 Retribution, because if they Barrow negate the B Fusion, then I get to Thrust to get reactivate Brand Fusion. But I find so many people cringe with that locals. Yeah, I don't know if I'd run 2 Retribution. Like, it's okay if you're running 3 Albion, but outside of that, I wouldn't run 2 Retribution. You can play Spellcaster Village. It's 2 fire. That is true too. That is very true. Spellcaster Village is very good in our deck, actually, Loki. What do you think of bringing back the field spell? What do you mean? Oh, the theater? I don't really like theater. I don't think theater does enough for us. So oh, we can go over Yuri's deck list as well. Cool, we got a few deck lists to go over. Let's switch over to my desktop then. Huh. That was the wrong thing to do. Alright, folks. There we go. So, oh no, why is it that one? Okay, there we go. And now we are going to check out deck lists. So the first deck list was Liam's here. Good old Liam. What do we got here? Let's open this up in the browser. So, got the nice purple sleeves on the Albaz Ecclesia mat. We love to see it. So, this is the list. We got 3 non-engine we got a bunch of non-engine, Drone Lockbird, Super Poly, Called by, Nadirs, 1 Thrust. You got the ulti Thrust. Very nice. With 1 dupe. I think that's fine. You might want to run a Talents at that point, honestly. Just so it feels like you have 2 Thrusts. And then you have a very solid main deck. 3 Cartesia, very spicy. 1 Quem. If you're running 3 Cartesia, I'd maybe run the 2 Quem, but that's up to you. And then like 2 Aluber, but that's really up to you. I mean, that's something to test. I like the QCR Albaz. Very good list. I would say Fender is cool. I think Fender is something I've considered this format, frankly. I think Fenrir is a perfectly fine card to run, especially when you're running like super polys. You want to get cards, or you want to get more stuff to just discard. More advantage and all that fun stuff. So Joe Delvicio says it's essentially Harpy's Feather Storm and Flew Under, but for our deck. Liam7, hi, I'm here at the time you're looking at it. Thank you. No problem. You have a very good deck. I would say, if anything, I mean, there's really not too much to change in here. It's a very solid list, I think, for this upcoming format. You know, so I just like, your mileage may vary, but I think for this format, it's a very good list. Maybe take out the Gold Sark, you know. Maybe Fenrir might not be the best option, but if it's working for you, then it's just fine, you know. So we got Krill CT with his list. We got 3 Albaz, 3 Aluber, really standard. We got the 3 Ash with 1 Imperm. That is interesting to me. I have to wonder why 1 Imperm. Wouldn't you want to run 3 at that point? Because like 2 hand traps is a lot better than 1, but it's up to you at that point, because then you have to run more engine to like counteract it, and that goes up to 50 cards. So like maybe at that point I'd run 2 Ash, 2 Imperm. Something to consider perhaps. I think it's a very good list though. You know, I think Gold Sark is questionable this format, but I think Super Poly is very good. I think Ash is actually very questionable. I'd take Ash out of the main deck. Post Fam Nightmare, it's very good right now. Before Fam Nightmare, post Fam Nightmare, definitely just like get something else than Ash. Like Droll, if anything. Extra Deck looks really good too. 1 Mirror Jade, you'll love to see it. And then the Nadir package, basically the same as my Extra Deck, very fire. 3 Nib, 3 Droll, 3 Bell on the side. You are never going to lose a lab matchup with this deck, that's for sure. 1 Druid Swarm. I wonder why the 1 Druid Swarm over Magnuma. Magnuma's just like a better one of, so I'd run that over Druid Swarm. 1 Herald of the Abyss for the thrust, of course, and then 2 Cosmics, 1 Evenly. I'd find a way for 3 Cosmics, but I think that's a very solid list, brother. Let me catch up on some chats. Yeah, I pretty much got all the cards. Only 1 Quem, though. Been thinking about a second one. Also missing the Gimmick Puppet, but as a new player, I just can't get my head around what Puppet does. So Puppet really, it prevents your opponent from playing the game, like on a simple level, because once Puppet hits your opponent's side of the field, they can't special summon anymore, which effectively means their turn is over. And it's like a hard stoppage. You can't even out that. Once it hits your field, you are done for the turn. Unless you're playing Philanderies and you only normal summon. So, I recommend playing it if you can find one cheap, but you don't need it. You can run it without it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Sanctifier is just a really broken card. I'd learned some Gimmick Puppet interactions. I have a lot of combos on it on my channel. We went over it before on the Nadir Servant combo too. So, lots of resources for you to learn it. Yeah, Joe Delvicio says you summon off of Albion from your grave and your opponent's side of the field. Stop them from using monster effects on their turn. I mean, stop them from summoning monsters, but effectively, yes. Kakeru Leonhard, what do you think? Do you think Ubel could be an option to mix in with Branded? Yes. Fusion deployment Ubel's very good. Fusion deployment Ubel's very good. And the field spell is very good. So I think once the field spell comes out in Legacy of Destruction, it will be a definite engine we can play. And I think there's also a lot of new Chimera stuff that's coming out that we can possibly use. Lots of stuff to consider, obviously. Ubel post-Fam Nightmare is not very good as an engine in Branded. Post-Legacy of Destruction, it will be pretty good, I think. So Spirit Flames, I have the feeling, says we should cut Nadir and play Droplet and Ash with Fusion, with S Fusion in the side. Should all Fusion in the side seems fine. I think Ash is very dubious though, because you're basically just giving a fire player full combo ashing them. It doesn't do anything to them. You guys gotta realize that Ash Blossom does absolutely nothing to Fire King players and Snake Eyes players, because they're just able to make a Hida, revive it, and then link off, continue full combo. So I don't think there's any reason why we should be running Ash Blossoms in our main personally. Remember guys, if you want me to check out your deck list, post them in the Discord. So this is Mr. Malefic Tech X's list. Thinking the side deck needs work, might take out something for D barrier. Alright, so I love the Ghost Rare gimmick puppet, bro. So yeah, that's about right. Oh, I love the dualities immediately. We love duality in this house. Duality is something I've thought about running for this format. It might help us out a little bit. Something to consider testing. You have the Dark Dragoon, or you have the Dragoon Axis on the list. You'll love to see it. You have 3 Ash, 3 Imperm. I think Ash and Imperm is so good right now in the deck. It gets so bad. I mean, Imperm's still fine, but Ash gets so bad next format. So make sure to take that out of your main next format. Obviously, you have the cross out. So if you're running the cross out, it's fine. If you don't have the thrust, or if you don't want to run thrust and have the cross out, don't listen to me on that. Run the Ash. Like, you still have to run the Ash, and then you could like Ash something else theoretically. But like, even then, if like the populace goes through, Ash ain't doing much. So running Ash with the cross out seems just fine. And then the duality, of course, seems very good going second and going first, because the duality very fireless. And then you also have double Mirror Jade with the Dragoon, with super body targets, and then in the extra deck you have a very solid extra deck. How do you like the Lightning Storms and the Feather Duster is my question, because I feel like they're not very good this format, but maybe I could be wrong. 2 Droll, maybe should run 3 at that point. I just think if you're going to side into Droll, you want to see it. 3 Cosmic, 1 Herald, very good. 2 Droplet, that's fine to me if you're running 3 evenly. It's like very good. Very good list. Let's talk about chat a little bit. It's essentially Harpy. Joe Delvicio says talents is busted. I took advantage of his roller for my opponent playing Drytron and banished it for Brandon Red, and he wanted to cry. Lamo. Yeah, that sounds like a moment where a guy looks at you yeah, no, that doesn't sound good. And Wild TV. Oh, we rating deck lists now. Can I show you mine? Yes. You just post them in the deck list channel in my Discord. Link to join the Discord if you're not already in there down below in the description of the video. I think over 40 is pretty good right now, because you don't want to see... You want to have options, but also like you want to be as close to 40 as possible to see the Super Poly and like Droll. So I think it running anywhere between like 42 and 45 is pretty good right now. I make a extra inside photo. Liam, I'll check that out right after this. I'm Krillic. My wife plays lab. Can't lose to her, says Josh McFarland. Probably explains my side. Oh, what's up, Krillic? Glad you're here. My wife plays lab and can't lose to her. That's cute as hell. Yeah, no, your list was very fire, honestly. It was just like, I am not losing to a lab player. My wife is not gonna... she's gonna be doing the dishes tonight after losing this Yu-Gi-Oh game kind of thing. See, that's what I would love to do with my wife. Just like, hey, we duel over the dishes tonight. You're gonna get 2-0 scrub. Funny stuff. This girl I just met, actually, I'm talking to, she plays Reptilians, which is very cool. Hopefully we can get her on the channel. But Luis Velapando, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Yeah, no, this is a very fire list. I would just like maybe like it's up to you, but like just like the 1 Imperm I must question at that point. Like maybe just like get rid of it, or like have a cross out in there to make it like a cross out target, but very fireless out, like very good nevertheless. It looks like you cook Labyrinth all day, which is a matchup I hate. it's a very fair matchup. It's a very good matchup. Like, it's a tough game, but you can still win it. It's just like not easy. You're not 2-0ing them very easy, unless you just have Ash Bell like this man. Very cool, very cool. Liam's side and extra, guys. You got the double Grand Guignol because he's on the 3 Cartesia. Totally makes sense. And then Sanctifier, he has the Titan Clad. He's choosing to run that over the Sprine. He's not on the High Spirit, so that totally makes sense. And then the side. And also, guys, I'm going to be rating these post Phantom Nightmare. I will have like an opinion pre and post because like a lot of you guys are probably going to end up posting pre. It's just like, you know, my criticisms are going to be like for a post Phantom Nightmare format because that is going to be the more relevant. Since we don't even have like any events left of this format. I mean, we do, I think, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to check out your list, Yuri. Going to post a nasty combo to play around Ash and Bestial in general in Discord. Hell yeah, we'll watch that if you post it. Liam, Yu-Gi-Oh! I did not see the deck list column on the Discord. Yep, we have that there. Mainly there if you see a deck list and you from an event or you want to share your deck list on stream. It's becoming a regular part of stream where we just rate your guys' deck list. It's pretty fun because it was just started as like a thing as people like, hey, can you like review my deck list while I was on stream? I was like, sure, why not? So yeah, love to do that, guys. And literally I'll review any deck list. Send me like that hand deck list that got 4th place in the OCG for somehow. I'll have to show you guys that. That was a very funny deck list. Joe Del Vecchio says math is over for you because it's one of the most consistent decks in the format. We need to be running at least 3 non-engine eruptions, and the deck itself is a 42 card list usually. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of your engine already takes up like 30-35 slots, so like when you're adding this non-engine and stuff like that, just like you go over 40 very easily. If you have a good branded list at 40 cards, like I salute you because it's hard. I mean, I'm not saying it's hard. It's just like it's hard not to fit every option. So thanks for. No, I already said that. William Mathis says I'm 40 on the dot with 9 hand traps and 10 if you call Magnamut. Yeah, I'd call Magnamut hand trap, especially in a format with a lot of Diabell Star. That's why I do like Magnamut. I just think like it gets slightly worse because I think Snake Eye runs wanted poster. I could be wrong, but Magnamut's something to consider in your side and main right now for sure. Especially with like the branded running around too. We duel over picks up the kids or wherever we eat for dinner. That's amazing. It's very cute. It's very wholesome. Dynamite, all my friends run Fire Kings and also Labyrinth. Are there any extra deck monster I can punish them besides the standards? I just spilt water all over me. So yeah, very solid extra deck. Side deck, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Nibiru, 1 transaction rollback. Okay. What is that transaction rollback doing there? So, Liam, you gotta let me know on the sauce, my guy. Because if we can play transaction rollback, sure. Dynamite, subscribe to the channel. What's up, Dynamite? Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to your branded journey. Welcome to the community. We're here to help you along. So, here is Yuri's combo. What is Yuri doing here? So Yuri goes into Albion. He goes Baldrake. You go Mercurier. Negate the Baldrake. Go Grand Guignol. Mercurier effect. Wait, that's crazy. Yeah, that's really good. And then he goes Branded and Blazing Branded King to prevent the freezing curses. That's so good. Blazing Branded King's very good, guys. That is exactly why Blazing Brand King is incredible. And Mercurier, just Mercurier control. That's why the second Mercurier actually could be very much worth it, but I don't run the Gold Sark, so I'm not banishing my Mercurier at the moment. So that's why I don't think I need the second Mercurier. And second Mercurier is quite a brick, especially without running allures, and we know why we're not running allure if you've been on this stream. Very fire combo, guys, or Mr. Yuri. So I'm going to throw up Mr. CD Sonic's deck list right here, and then I'm going to use the bathroom super quickly. I'm not even going to put up the BRB screen, guys. We are just going to... Oh, my gosh. Well, I can't get the side deck in frame, but I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so more deck list time. We got a few more in the chat as well. Okay. So whose deck list is this again? CD Sonics. What is up? We got Aaron Wins in the chat. Hell yeah. What's up, Aaron Wins? How's it going? How's it going? Join the Discord, bro. Haven't seen you in a minute. Brand Dyer just posted a list in Discord, man, taking a look and giving feedback. I think this is your list, so if it's not, let me know if I didn't go over it. But this is 45 card list. Looks very solid. I do see the 3 Ash, which I'm going to have to roast you on. Ash is very good this format, very bad in the Phantom Nightmare format. So definitely replace those for Drolls, and then you get more space in your side. But outside of that, your list is extremely solid. How do you like the branded and high spirits is one of my questions with the lower dragon count. Like, is it ever a brick, or do you really care because you can just like end up pitching it perhaps? Transaction rollback for lab. Oh, I was thinking the same thing. I can yeah, exactly. You can just cross out it. Duplication, it's the hidden jujutsus. I didn't want to teach y'all, Lamau. Honestly, before watching your streams, I was getting destroyed playing this deck. Now I'm going X1. Next week, I'm going XO. Let's go, Joe Del Vicio. That's the energy I love to hear. Let's get it. You're winning locals next week. We're just trying to put out the information, get everybody up to speed on branded. It's all love out here. No problem, brother. How good is Adlib post PHNI? Not very good. Rollback, kind of cute. NGL. Yep. Marcel, bad. Honestly, just a brick doesn't do what you think it will. We discussed this earlier. Trying to replace with tier limits, haveness, and wild. That's me. I'm CD Sonic. Oh, what's up? What's up? Yeah, so you have a very solid list. I like the simplicity of the side deck also. I'm going to have to zoom out so you guys can actually see it. 3 Crow, 3 Droll, 3 Nibiru, 3 Cosmic, 3 Evenly. I think that's quite good. I just think like the Ash needs to go post PHNI. Very solid list though. And also the brand High Spirits looks like it could be kind of a brick in this build. But your mileage may vary. Does the 2 Mirror Jade come up a lot for you? Something I'd also ask, Mr. Unwild. No, that's not. This isn't my list. I like High Spirits for the Pitch. Mine is the list at the very bottom of the deck list channel. Oh, what's up, Brandire? How's it going? Yeah, I like High Spirits for the Pitch. That totally makes sense. It's a nice advantage loop, so I understand. So we're gonna go into deck list, look at the He's deck list. So let's see. Okay, that's a pretty good. No, that's a good enough frame. So you have a very interesting deck list. If I'm seeing a regain somewhere. Oh, you were just looking at regained. Okay, so you have a branded beast in here. Let's see. So I presume this is post PHNI. I like obviously the standard ratios. I like the Aluber, or I like the Droll. I like the Gimmick Puppet. I think Kit's pretty good to play around Droll too. I think that branded in white is it's pretty good with the Borreload Furious. I might run a Magnum at that point too. Just for another dragon, you know. But that's up to you. I think the 3 droplet might be a little overkill with the 3 Droll and then 3 Super Poly and then 3 Thrust and 1 Beast. I think you can put the droplets in the side, frankly. That's just me. Or you could drop maybe the Thrusts. Or maybe the... you can't drop the Drolls, in my opinion. I just don't think droplet in the main is the play for us right now. Because, like, against the fire decks, what are you dropletting? Besides Baron, necessarily. Do you like the Feather Duster in the main too? What do you think about Beast? Because Beast, I don't think you should be. I think it's like mathematically incorrect to run branded Beast with only 2 Bestials, you know, because you don't have Bestials in the side either. So I'd get rid of that Beast unless you're running multiple Sarniers and a Magnamut. I'd put the Duster in the side, frankly. Like you could keep it in the main, it's fine. Like especially if you're cutting the Beast and then remove the droplets, and then you really do have a good cover up spread with your non-engine. You just don't need the droplets. You just don't need the Beast. Yeah. And besides that, it's actually looking really good. I think the Ashen Bells are perfectly fine in the side because you don't lose to Lab. You don't lose to anything besides a Fire deck. And then you have the Bells for the Fire deck. So, and then you have the Cosmics. I think Twin Twister's dubious. I'd run 3 Cosmic and then, like, put Feather Duster in the side or something. I think that the Dark Ruler's fine, especially, or you could replace those with droplets. Herald of the Abyss is what you want, and then the Borreload Furious, as I said before, guys, is actually quite good. You just I don't see a Dragoon, so if you're not running the Dragoon, you want that Furious, so that's fine. I might put a Dragoon in there, especially if you're running the Puppet. If you're running Puppet, my logic is like you need the Dragoon. Like you need the Dragoon, like just to secure it when you can with something. Also, you could potentially go to 50 cards and run Nadir. That's all I'm saying. You go 50 cards, run Nadir, and like up your ratios a tiny bit. That'd be an interesting build. But I think that's like a bit too big altogether. Still a good build. Just needs a... Personally, I would do a couple different things. Then we have Jake the Mountain Man's list here that is, of course, showing up at the bottom of the screen for some reason. There we go. Oh, I fixed it, guys. That's crazy. Joe Delvicchio, Baron side for Pearly in the mirror match, Tribute Grignol or Rinbrum for it, and that's all I could think of. Yeah, no, it's like really, I think it's better than Dark Ruler this format because you can at least like hit the Branded and Centurion in the draw phase. I almost never need 2 Mirror Jade. Sometimes Liam says I don't need 1. Yeah, I mean, that's why like the second Mirror Jade is so like imaginary. Ash is essential in lab mirrors, etc. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, I agree, William. I personally don't like the droplets because Brand already has trouble with discards. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're just giving up a lot of advantage. Obviously, you can, like, send your monster to the graveyard, but it's not always, like, that great in that scenario. Droplet is Baron the side for Pearly and Mirror Match, Tribute Guignol, Rinbrum. That's all I could think of. Yeah. And while the higher Bastille count, it's must for Regained and Beast. Yeah, exactly. You have to do like higher Bastilles to make those useful. I think Beast is an okay side, and like I think it's okay in the main, if especially with Regained if you're running a lot of Bastilles. But personally, I don't recommend that. I don't think a lot of Bastilles are great right now. I like the Proskenion. I like the Imperm. I like the Droll. I think Imperm's fine actually. If you want main an Imperm, I won't hate on it. I'll hate on Ash. Unless you're on Crossout. I like 41 cards. That seems quite tight. And that's a lot of non-engine at 41 cards. So, you know, I think that's a very solid list. I would maybe run into Deer just because it seems like a lot of non-engine. So, like, you know, to clear up the non-engine at least for going first. But then again, it's like if you just draw a hand of Imperm, Droll, and Super Poly, you can still pass on that and likely win. So it's fine. 2 Mirror Jade. I mean, I don't hate on people who do 2 Mirror Jade. I understand it. It can come up. But I just don't think it comes up enough. 1 Proskenion. But it's like, what are you going to run? You don't really need to cut the 2 Mirror Jade all the time. 3 Bell, 3 Ash, 3 Droplet, 3 Cosmic, 3 Evenly. Very clean. Very, very clean extra deck. Or side deck. Very good extra deck. I have no complaints on the side deck. This is actually a very solid list. I would just like... Maybe the just like... Maybe a Nadir or something, but that's all. That's just me. I think it's fine besides that. I think we have very, very good list, Jake the Mountain Man, as per usual with you. And then we got Yuri's list right here, actually, we can check out. And then we got Plague Spreader Zombies in there. Let's go. So, this is Yuri's list. His updated post-PHNI 60 card branded list. We see 3 Albions. We see 3 Salzban. How do you like the Salzban, brother? I heard you say that before. IDK, man, because you can thrust into... Yeah, at least you can thrust into... Yeah, that makes sense, Joe. That makes sense. Beast is a win more. People kill me. I'm not playing Blazing over 40. 3 Blazing over... Yeah. Blazing, not a brick. Blazing is great. Got to go. Have a good night. See you, Liam. So yeah, this list is actually quite fire. It's quite spicy. How do you like the Salzban would be my question, Yuri. How do you like the branded... Or how do you like the Shadal fusions? Obviously, I think they're pretty good with the Ariel. And then the App Cologne. I mean, maining the App Cologne, though, is weird. But you do have the Beast in the main, so, like... I don't know. I would probably main the Ariel at that point. I don't know. And then you have the Poly, which is interesting without the Fright Fur engine. Like, why is that? Like, I would just run... I mean, you do have the Brand Red, so I guess it's like another copy. But even then, I'd run like the Field Spell maybe at that point. Salzban's super interesting. I think Salzban's actually kind of good this format, but it's something to consider. You do have the Magma, obviously. Magma's very good on the side. And then you do have this SP Little Knight, which is something that we've talked about. If you've watched Yuri's previous deck profiles, he likes to run that SP Little Knight for when you get Ash, so you can at least still make something. Which is not bad. So, other things I see with this list, Desires. I just wouldn't run Desires personally, but that's like a Yuri special, so like... I can't hate on it too much. side deck or extra deck very standard outside of the app clone, which is not live, and then Blazing Brand Hit King is very good, and then you have the Shit All Fusions to blow out a Fire King player. Very nice. Change Your Heart seems pretty good this format too. It's something I've considered, but at that point I would run Talons perhaps, because at least you get more out of it. And it doesn't target. Very good list. And then we will go over Mr. Plague Spreader Zombies. What's up, Plague Spreader? Let's make you a Slifer Red. So this is your list. 46 main deck. We do see the Crossout package, no thrust. That is fine. And I see the 1 Ash with the 1 Nibiru 3-droll, because, you know, that's going to be very prevalent. Then the 1 Imperm, I would maybe up it to 2 Imperm, but like 47 isn't probably what you want. I also don't think you need the 1 of Nibiru. I think Nibiru could just be sided. People aren't going to be necessarily maining it too hard. And I like the Nadirs. I like the Crossouts with the Crossout package. If you're not doing the thrust, that's totally fine. And the Super Polys go hard. So, I mean, if anything, I'd say no. I don't know if I'd really make too much of a change outside of like the ratios for the Crossout package. And maybe a second Quem. I don't know. Not really too necessary on the second Quem whatsoever. Especially with 1 Albion, I wouldn't probably go for the second Quem. And then you do have the extra deck here. Really standard extra deck. 2 Mirror Jade. Dragoon. We love Dragoon here. I think Dragoon's quite good this format. Then we have Ash Blossom, Nibiru. We got the second Nibiru, folks. 2 Cosmic, 2 Soul Release, because we are not on the thrust, so he runs the 2 Soul Release. 2 evenly, 1, 2. Oh, the rest of the Imperms, and then the D Barrier, and the Adlib, and the Alba Lunatus. Got those extra deck side options. I think those are fine. I think Alba Lunatus, just so you have an easy matchup against fire or dragons. You know, if dragons are in your local meta, certainly something that you should be siding in that case. But I don't think necessarily that is applicable to the national scene. Not a lot of dragon decks, all things considered, right now. So there are no 40 card lists. Yeah, no, I'm surprised, but makes sense. Yeah, that's a good list. I like it a lot. I think that does it for the list. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I got CD Sonics, got Liam's, got Krillix, all very fire list tonight. Gotta make a bunch of people. Slifer Red. Oh my gosh, we had so many people join the Discord. Shout out all you new Discord heads here. So yeah, guys, remember, post your stuff in the deck list if you want me to cover it. But I think now what we can do is this is kind of, yeah, see, this is my list, obviously, from before, just in a, why is this right there? Why is that right there? That's so annoying. Wow. My chat thing is just sticking right there, but I guess if I do that, that's fine. See, why is it doing that? Yeah, I can't quite get rid of that without closing my stream. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm thinking about in between Alba Lunatus and Blazing Brightest. I would probably run the Blazing Brightest over that, just because it's a bit more applicable. You know, the Alba Lunatus, like, you're really only blowing out Dragon Link with that card. And even then, like, against Mid-Adium, it's okay. Not that great. You just get the Dissipator. and you waste your normal summon. Yeah, I think we can at least play a game with this build, and then I'm gonna probably sign out just because I'm getting kind of tired. It's been a really good stream so far, but I need to get some food. I need to talk to my girl, and it's been a really good stream, so I think we can end this off on like a ranked game, show off the deck a little bit. Samoth YK3, hey, saw the stream and have been wondering why recent lists have been skipping on Lulu when she's a big enabler for the puppet lock. Because they just aren't on Nadir. So that's basically why, you know. Like if you are on Nadir, there isn't a really reason to play Lulu unless you're on branded synchro. So we're going to play around Droll and Lockbird here, guys, since we obviously don't have access to Cartesia. So, well, hopefully I don't get, okay, that sounds about good. And then I can place this over here. And then we can discard the Maximus to play around Droll with the Nadir. See how that works, guys? Our first game, and we actually did the thing. Cracked opening hand, says N Wild. Let's go, let's go. That's what I'm saying, bro. Very good opening hand. So now we are gonna go, obviously we can just go with the branded fusion here. He doesn't have the Ash, so we can go into what we just did. We can get the Dark Magician, so we can start doing plays that play around certain things. And actually, what's kind of interesting here is that we can go into the Dragoon, but we can keep Albaz. Yeah, we probably do that. And then we can keep the Lubellion so that we get a... Actually, that allows us to make a Stapelia if we want. At a certain point. That's why I kept that on board. And then we can send the Garura and then add the Maximus from our graveyard, playing around the Nadir. And then, oh, we drew the Brandon in red. Not bad whatsoever. So now we can go Maximus effect and sending the Albion and then the Luluwell Lilith. So let's see what he has. This is why I like the Maximus too, because if we play Talents or Thrust, it makes those live. If they run like Garura. Appreciate you checking out the stream, though, Samathy. Oh boy. So now we can go set the red. We can theoretically keep the branded or the super poly just for the Dragoon, and then we can set probably a Retribution just to prevent, so we can spin back the Lubellion and prevent a Bestial if that comes out. Remember, guys, Retribution spins back a monster, so you could like spin back your Mirror Jade if you need to, or spin back your Grand Guignol so you can reuse it. It's a very nice thing to do, Retribution. You don't always have to use Retribution to get branded fusion or just to put it in graveyard. You know, yo, you're the first streamer to get my name right. Let's go. And I always get reasoning. I was not expecting reasoning, dog. And now we can just go chain Cartesia, make the Granny G. Go into Granny G, effect, send the puppet, and now we can immediately chain the Brandon and red, give that Albaz to hand, and then we can fusion summon, make the Sanctifier off of this and the Maximus, and then we can go Sanctifier effect, targeting Aluber and the puppet, and now we get Aluber effect, and then that just sets us up so hard now. Yep. I don't even he used reasoning on me, set Hugin, and so I'm assuming he's on Runic. Like, that's all I really have to know. Oh god, I have the wrong side deck. These are not supposed to be there, and I don't have, well, I have Drills in main at least. I have the Cosmics here. I guess that's fine. Side out our going first cards. Yeah, we could just do that. Hey, MetaGamesGX, says Reed Harrison. What's up, Reed? Nice to see you, bro. Yeah, this guy's just gonna go off. What's up, brother? How's it going? Thomas Sadler in the chat with the smiley face. Nice to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. I'm sorry for the resolution. Don't have access to my PC right now. Posted my deck list just now. Would love a review, says No Vanity. Yeah, I'll check out your list after this game, right before we sign off. Ferris is Samothy. Let's lock this dude, Lamau. Hell yeah, we got her done then, Wild. Would you guys be interested in gimmick puppet hoodies? I kind of want to just make them for the meme. But also, if you wear them to events, then you just, like, give it away. Joe Del Vicio, you know, also say no one gets my last name right. See, like, I've seen, like, that, like, similar last name, so I know how, like, the Vici, like, the Ichio, like, what all those letters sound like, essentially. Very cool last name. But my boy did it first try, a little best streamer for YGO. Appreciate it, my guy. Very kind words. Appreciate you hanging out all stream too, Joe. You've just been holding it down with us in chat. Guess what, bro? I got my Dragoon tonight. Yo, let's go. Let's crab dance for Dragoon in the chat for our boy. I gotta get a Dragoon emote so we can react to it. But shout out Dragoon. He is the boy. So you'd think this hand was scary. I mean, but it really isn't. Do we opening and play around Droll? I guess not. I don't believe in Droll. I don't want to give him a reason to go Baron and standby either. As long as the design is hype enough, of course. I'd absolutely buy a gimmick puppet hoodie. Yeah, no, I think that would be the biggest thing. It would actually have to be cool merch. That's why I haven't, like, just dived in with no experience. But I remember I talked to D-Time, another Yugi tuber. Check him out. He does a lot of hero content. And he was doing a lot of merch and give me some advice on it. But it's something that I only want to do if you guys are interested. And, like, it would be funny and, like, cool merch to wear. But yeah, so we can get... I'm going to send this so we can get Albaz and Graveyard so we can spec the Cartesia. And then we can probably make Dragoon, actually, from here. Which is hilarious. Like, if he doesn't negate Cartesia... Oh, wait, I can go normal summon Albaz, make him chain Baron, chain Albaz, and then chain Cartesia. I think that's the play, right? And then we can discard Fusion Deployment because we don't need that anymore. And then he's going to go Baron Effect. Or he's going to go Freezing Curses, which is fine. We can then go Cartesia Effect. Oh, he doesn't believe, dude. My guy does not believe in the Dragoon. Oh, do I want to negate that? Yeah. But also, like, Baron negate is a thing. So yeah, I guess I'll just give him the draw so I can just kill him and then kill his Baron, right? Reed Harrison, dude, I'm jealous of the thrust. That's all I have left to get. I'll crab dance for you. Hell yeah, bro. Run the tactics of the crossouts for now, man. I hope the card goes down in price. It's basically just a brandy card at this point, man. Oh my gosh, he's not even negating with Baron. That's crazy. My man just knows he lost. Well, we can make a Luluwal Lilith here, guys. That's funny. Oh, he has the Ash. No. That's what I should have expected. But also, I can... Ah. This is slightly annoying now. I just realized what I did wrong here. Yeah, I think I messed up a little. But also... We can make Granny G, worst case, after a Dragoon negate. Yeah, I should have realized when he had the Baron. Wait, why didn't I have... Oh, it's because... Yeah, did I even Dragoon negate? I'm so confused. I have to look at the log. No, I didn't use Dragoon negate. It didn't let me trigger Dragoon there. That is crazy. That is fine. Oh my gosh, we're playing this dog. Just join the Discord server. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to negate this, I guess. Oh, what? It doesn't get destroyed. That is fine. Can I also get a crab dance for getting my third thrust? Let's go on wild. We're getting crab dancey in the chat. Where does this go from here? Does he have another card? Oh. Is he forcing the SP? No. Wow, Changing in defense is certainly an option. I guess that makes sense. I was hoping he'd hit a... oh, he hit a tragedy. Let's go. And now you can go Changing effect. And then I can go... oh, yeah, that's not great. But we can at least go a Luber, and then he banishes the Dragoon. Joining the server too. Hopefully I can get some tips on my current build for the YCS Australia. Let's go. You're from Australia, bro? Let's go. We Brafu and Albion here, right? Samothy says. Always dude that my current job entails. I listen and watch most of the night. Let's go. Is this guy doing anything? I mean, I guess he can go... God, this guy's taking forever. Okay, that's fine. I mean, yeah, now we just get to do really free things now. Safe for work? Oh, what's up, Safe for work? How's it going? Love seeing familiar faces here. Does he have a second Ash? That'd be crazy, dude. God, I hate this game. Does he have the out? This guy's just taking forever, too. That's the annoying part. So, okay, we can side this out. Put this back in. At least that was game 2. Keeping the Drolls pretty good going second or going first against this deck. They can play into it really, really hard. What's up, Sammy K? Joining the Discord. Ace joining the Discord. Bunch of new members today. Y'all are the realest. Reed Harrison says, I'm debating one Mirror Jade, but I don't want to hurt my grind game. I'm debating Proskinion because I like it a lot, but IDK if I could choose over Quertus. Yeah, no, that's kind of where I'm at. And I think Quertus is actually summonable, whereas Proskinion is not outside of Grand Guignol. So it's I think it's a pretty clear answer for me, at least. Even though Proskinion has a better effect in this meta, I still think Quertus overall has better utility. Oh, I'm hungry. Still got maxed out. Still got the maxed out rarity of this deck sitting on my shelf waiting to play it, so safe to work. What's preventing you from playing it, brother? I forgot. You can go fusion deployment here, get a Granny G, I guess. Just for more resources. Dodge the imperm, obviously. Aces Mio, what's up? Nice. Does he have the Ash? No, he does not. But we do have the Nadir Servant, so this is a pretty easy Dragoon right here. Top the fact that we have the Cartesia right now, which is pretty crazy. Dragoon by spinning back that and then saving the Albaz in graveyard, so we have a brand new red target. Then we can go Cartesia effect, make the Granny G effect, send the puppet. So that's our best opportunity to send the puppet, and then we're gonna go Nadir Servant, sending the Garura, add the Maximus. We will go Garura effect, so we can draw a card. Oh wow, we got the talents just in case he that's actually insane draw if he has a Garura or something. Something that triggers off of this Maximus. I'm not confident at all, says safe for work. You just gotta go in, man. Like, you'll learn a lot of that you didn't know before by just like playing cardboard, going into your locals like every week or once a month. Like, it does help a lot, so I recommend. It'll get over your nerves. Like, that's how I was with Despia for a while. Like, I didn't play it until like I thought I knew the deck. I probably should have just like gone in, but you know, definitely is do your research and go in when you feel confident. We got the so much advantage being generated right now. We have the Albion to set the Brandon in red. Set that under the Dragoon. We'll get the Lulu effect to get, I guess, Cartesia, right? Like, or no, we get Quem here. No, yeah, we get Quem here. Quem is going to probably get the Mercurier if I had to guess. So I could spec it off of Quem for a monster effect negate. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Samathy says, please don't bully my terrible side deck building habits too much. No promises. Nah. It's all love here. We're all just trying to, that is fine. I don't care if he specs. Like, if he has Bastille, I need to save the Dragoon. And then we can chain Sanctifier. It looks like he has a response here. So he might have a Bastille or something. But that's fine. We have the Dragoon. Targeting the Aluber and the Puppet, so we can at least get another +1. We'll have the Mercurier out too, just in case he somehow normal summons something. And then we get the Mercurier as well. Mercurier also works on field, which is something you guys should remember. It's kind of like a low-key thing, but Mercurier working on field is kind of huge. Get the Retribution so we can pitch that off of the Dragoon. Or we could make Stapelia here, too, with his whole board, which is pretty funny. Super probably going to go crazy right now, I know, right? The time pressure at the end of rounds definitely takes getting used to. Yes, exactly, John Wiley. I think what's nice about about Branded is that what does Cyframe Lord Omega do? That is fine. Yeah, you already know the line, Yuri. Yeah, I don't like Fountain. I don't like that card. Oh, actually, he has Hugin up. It didn't even matter. But I could also Mercurier Hugin. Oh, it didn't even matter. He couldn't Hugin that. Yeah, he had the second one. That's fine. Yeah, I probably should have waited for the... I mean, it didn't matter. He could have just went target 3 again. Marcel Benedek says, your channel is helping me a lot in terms of playing Brad. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate it, bro. Very kind words. Thank you, man. Those are my favorite comments when I hear, like, my stuff is actually helping people. That's why I'm, like, really sticking to the branded stuff. If you've been around my channel before the last couple months, I did a lot more variety Yu-Gi-Oh, but I've been sticking to the branded stuff recently because it's just what people want to see. Like, people appreciate it when I put out information that is otherwise pretty rare about branded. So, you know, we're just trying to be a light, beacon of light out here for the branded community. Don't got a whole lot of people right now posting in the community. Aside of, like, people just obviously taking the deck far in the competitive scene. This guy is taking so long, dude. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just win from here. I kind of just put all my monsters in attack position and just win. I also think I should technically go and get this branded in red and target the fountain. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, I can't target anything. Well, at least I can do this. Okay, we're gonna fusion summon, get that Chimera out. Gonna have to only do it with one. I guess we could do it with Mercurier for the plus, but I also want a monster effect. Negate. Ah, fuck it. I want to get that +3. I'd say it's top 10 this format because of how good its matchup spread is. What do you mean? Special summon one runic card from your extra deck zone. That is actually 100%. I think okay. I don't. Yeah, that does absolutely. Oh, it's because he had that. Well, that's fine. And yeah, now I just go into this plus that because I can't attack with that, right? Oh, I can't fuse off of that. That's unfortunate. Oh, I mean, I guess we can go battle phase and then like make Lulu if we need to. Yuri Dez says, join the Discord. We have a great community if you want to hear. Yeah, basically. Join the Discord, y'all. My side Feather Duster and third drop in, keeping Pond Desires of Avarice for the draw, like pro tag power. Let's go. Target one runic. Add to your hand. Sure. I don't think that works the way I think it does, but maybe it does. Yeah, it does. I don't have the opening engrave, which is somewhat unfortunate, but that's fine. Because I can just kill him with my 2 untargetables. Same really helped me update my Same really helped me update my deck building, fix my bad habit, forcing myself to stay with 40, says Samothy. Well, I appreciate the kind words. Glad I could help. Yuri Diaz, target one. Yeah, I don't really care about him targeting that one. Marcel, do you think Brand Fusion will get limited or semi-limited in upcoming ban lists? Yeah, I mean, it probably has to happen eventually. The deck is still fine after that, though. You just play Synchro Branded, and you already play one Branded Fusion, Synchro Branded. It's fine. Or you just play Nadirs, like in the OCG. My deck now has both, but I'm looking ahead with the Quick Play Monster Reborn. Yes, Quick Play Monster Reborn is actually going to be pretty good. It's going to be like a pseudo called by. Oh, now he has to use his effect. This is so... My man loses no matter what because I just puppet him next turn. Oh, he just uses tip here. Is he really just running out the clock like this? It's like you're dead. Oh, is he just gonna... Yeah, he's gonna chain now. Ugh. That is fine. That not being once per turn is actually slightly annoying. Oh, I could have went Mirror Jade, maybe. That could have been the play, but I don't actually think it was. I'm just going to end my turn and, you know, just get my discard fodder and Gimmick Puppet, lock him, and get this over with so I can go over the stack list. Oh my lord, he's actually just gonna waste all of our time here. Alright, so Reed Harrison doing Testin, just summon Dragoon and hard summon Proskinion on turn 1 with Cartesian to Aluber plus Albaz. That was in hand. Zedbar going into turn 2 with Granny G Dragoon. Dragoon and Heartskin. I mean, I don't think that's a better one because, like, it depends on what you're doing, but. Okay. That's fine, dude. Oh, he's gonna try to. He's actually gonna try to deck me out, which is hilarious. Now his second fountain is gone. Or no, well, he can play his other fountain, but yeah, okay. Gonna use the bathroom, then I'm gonna check over your deck list. So just give me 1 second, guys. My mic was muted. I would love to do that video on the matchups for branded. We'll definitely make a video on that. I really want to build the deck too. I love rituals for the voiceless voices. Super Poly really solves that matchup. Also a well-placed imperm does wonders. So just make sure to also banish their Novox Novox does a lot in their graveyard. So just like little tips here and there. I think it's going to be a fair enough matchups though. It's not going to be, I think it's harder for them to beat us than it is for us to beat them. But I think I went over the deck. Like if there was a deck I was supposed to go over, someone let me know quick. But I believe I went over the deck. Or was it this one? Yeah, it looks like this one. Okay. What's up, Josh? Oh, and then also Sammy. So Sammy's list I like a lot. I thought I already went over Sammy's. That's why I'm confused. 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, really solid. 2. Yeah, no. And then you have the 1 Thrust, 1 Duplication. Pretty good. Ad Lib. Masquerade, 3 Cosmics, 3 Bells, 3 Droll. I think that's quite solid. I just think that the Ashes need to go post Phantom Nightmare in the main deck. Besides that, this list is actually really good. The 3rd Thrust might as well just go in the main, but that's up to you. I see why you sided. I've been there before, siding 1 Thrust. That's totally fair. 48 cards too. Maybe like try to get it down to 45. But you are running so many non-engine like the hand traps. I think it's fine for this format. This looks like a really good deck. Just gotta take out the Ashes for this upcoming one, and then you'll be fine. Adlib in the side might be a little dubious too. This list by Mr. Josh looks really good. 2 Ash, 2 Imperm, 3 Crossout. Thinking Droll main Ash side, yes. For sure. For sure. That's Droll main is very good. Ash is just kind of bad. You want it for the lab matchups and for like Rogue, but you don't want it for the fire decks. So keep out your main for the fire decks because they will be the best decks. You are running the Dragoon as well. Were you running the Dragoon too? I see no Dragoon. That's interesting. I would probably run the Dragoon if I were you, but that's up to you. If you're running the Puppet, but it's up to you. It just feels weird to me to run Puppet and not have a Dragoon because it's like, how are you going to get Dragoon through unless you have Mercury or Loss, which doesn't always happen. Like, you just want more ways, basically, to get through, in my opinion. I don't think Brand Fusion is going to get limited, though, anytime soon. It's probably the next list or two, probably after Nats, but we'll see. And also, the Evenly is cool. The D barrier with the cross out makes sense. With the Dark Ruler and Nibiru, looks pretty good. All things considered, I do really like this list as well. I would just take out the Ashes. Well, no, you have to run the Ash for the cross out, so, yep, that's fine. Did you see the list that top Springfield? I did not. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, that's why I felt like upping to 50 so I could at least side Dragoon. Yeah, like I think you just need Dragoon. It's very much like some decks just scoop to that card. It's a pseudo towers and an Omni negate. It's very good, very worth it, worth the brick. As you guys saw in that last game, I was trying to make the Dragoon. That would have been really good there. Anyways, if we got any the bad resolution one, this is pre-PHNI. Oh, okay. So that's yours. No vanity. I like your list a lot. I would just, there's not too much I could say to change, honestly. You have it pretty mid-max without the thrusts. I would just probably put in the Droll, find maybe some way to put in Droll. And then at that point, like, up the consistency. Maybe you could run a Lure at that point because you run crossouts. I don't know. With like 3 Albion. Probably not. It's probably too dangerous to run the Allure still. Dark Ruler is cool. If you have Droplets, I'd run it over Dark Ruler. I just think Droplet does a lot better matchup spread, especially against Centurion and Brandon. If you guys have any last questions, we're going to be signing out here in a minute. I know that sideboard wasn't released for that list, so there's not one out. Oh. What's up, Uslacky343? Appreciate you coming through the chat. Was it interesting at all? Like, was there anything unique about the list? Glad my list got a seal of approval, lol. Yeah, it's a very cool list. Very solid list. I basically just told everybody, like, everyone's on Ash because I think Ash is really good right now. Like, I told everyone to run Ash this format. I'm just letting you guys know Ash next format. Like, before it happens to you, you know, before you get heated. But with that being said, it's been a banger stream, y'all. It's been one of the best streams we've ever had. Had a bunch of people donate. We had a bunch of people come through, more importantly, and then just a lot of people just chilling, hanging out in chat, talking branded. We got a good deck profile done. We'll be re-uploading that deck profile tomorrow. I'll edit it out if you'd like it for your own convenience that way. Really do appreciate everyone coming through. Thank every single one of you. Remember to check out the links below to support the channel. Also, make sure to check out today's video. I'm going to link it in the description or the chat. Very much would appreciate if you guys went and checked out that video. It's very good. Put a lot of time into it. It's how to side with branded Despia. If you wanted a guide on how to side with branded Despia, this is it. A lot of people have come through the chat and told me and asked me for that. So would appreciate y'all checking out, giving it a like. Do you really need 2 Quests? Not really, but I think 2 Quests is good in a grind game scenario, or if you're running 2 Albion. If it's not a grindy meta, if you're not running 3 Albion, I don't think you need to run 2 Quests. Or if you're running like duality, you could run 2 Quests too. So very, very much not necessary. Uslaki was a 50-card list, leaning more gas than defensive. That's fair. I think like Branded is one of the decks that can actually run more gas than not. Like it's kind of like Tier Laments where the engine is so good that you can play through it. Bro, you're just the go. I appreciate it. 2 Pank in the side because it's free, or would you rather have the 2 slots for the other cards? I would rather have it in 2 other cards because I just don't think Pank does enough versus the current meta. Appreciate y'all coming through. Have a good night, guys. Make sure. Oh, MCole checked it out. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe next stream, guys. I will be streaming likely tomorrow on Wednesday, so make sure to check that out. And then also we got streams coming this Saturday, possibly Friday, and then we're gonna be uploading tomorrow and the day after. So definitely make sure to be on the lookout for the new videos. What's up, Jake the Mountain Man? We're about to sign off here. Thank you, Marcel. Very much appreciate it. Fair enough. Thanks, man, says Reed Harrison. See you next time, says No Vanity. All right. See you guys later. Have a good night.